another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Donovan Plan.
Sure is a beautiful little ship. But why all the secrecy on this project?
This is the Space Angel's new ship.
Wow, no wonder. Hey, do you suppose he'll come in and inspect it? I'd sure like to see him.
We probably wouldn't know if he did, since no one knows who the Space Angel is. He could even be one of our workmen.
Hey, who are the VIPs?
That's Scott McCloud and his flight engineer. They're Space Force. Just a big megatomic engine with 2 seats on it. Those engine tests are fantastic. 10 million pounds of thrust. I can't wait to try them out, Skipper.
Yes, Taurus. Dark 2 will have more thrust per pound of weight than any ship in the universe. And it won't be long now. Let's go over and see the chief about testing this baby.
Will that be all, sir?
Yes, Carter. Just see that we're not disturbed.
Yes, sir. I'll be in microfilm if you need me.
Now, let's get down to business. How does the Dart check out, Scott? She's ready to go, Chief. The new engine looks great.
And we'd like permission to test her right away.
That's what I want to talk to you about. This flight test would be a perfect cover-up for a top-secret project.
What do you mean, Chief?
I mean the light ray, or death ray, better known as Project Flashlight.
I didn't know Professor Mace was even close to the testing stage on Project Flashlight.
The conversion crystal gave us the breakthrough. The ray is ready for testing now. I don't have to tell you the importance of secrecy on this project. Used as a weapon, the light ray could be the most destructive force in the galaxy.
Misused, such a device could jeopardize the whole space organization.
That's right. So we must proceed with utmost secrecy. People talk too much around here. Information has been leaking out, so we will conduct the test from the Evening Star. The light ray can be installed on the Dart there. You will conduct your flight tests in Sector 7 near the asteroid belt and test the ray on asteroids.
Yes, sir. We'll blast off within the hour.
Personnel, Starduster from launch control. You are clear for blast off.
Roger, control. All set, Taurus?
All go here, Skipper.
Blasting off.
Carter! Where are you, Carter? Answer me, Carter.
Sorry, Chief. I was busy filing and didn't hear you. What can I do for you, sir?
As soon as you're finished, I've got some reports for you to file.
Yes, sir. I'll be up in a few minutes, sir.
It's a message from Carter. This is the information I've been waiting for. So they've perfected the death ray, eh? That's right, sir. The Space Angel will be testing it in the new Dart in Sector 7 tomorrow. That is good. That is very good indeed. With the death ray in the Dart, I will have a weapon that can control the galaxy. But, sir, the Space Angel, he is not to be trifled with. The Space Angel is only mortal like the rest of us. I will capture the Dart and the death ray. I have a plan.
Evening Star. This is Starduster, approaching on Earth space lane.
Request landing instructions. Over.
Starduster, this is Evening Star. Correct angle of approach, 35 degrees, and switch to automatic landing control.
Roger, Evening Star.
Professor Mace, the Starduster is coming aboard in tube 3, sir.
Right, control. Have the Project Flashlight crew report there for installation. And ask Scott and Torres to meet me in the briefing room. The basic principle of this device is simple. The same megatonic pack that powers the ship powers the light ray. The beam is directed by a lens system through the conversion crystal, which amplifies its power and projects it through a grid. That's all there is to it. You say that thing packs a wallop equal to 1,000 megatons?
The laboratory test was a complete success. The results were identical with the computer's predictions.
That was under controlled conditions. How about the changing environments under normal operation?
Its power source is independent of outside environment. Theoretically, its range is unlimited. But that's for you to check out, Scott.
What about controls?
Your control system is simple. You'll have plenty of time to check them out before blastoff. Blastoff is scheduled for 0900.
Clear the tube for blastoff.
Trapped in, gang?
Go here.
Aye, Skipper.
Tube doors opening.
Five, make it a
Trajectory go.
AB temperature go.
Increasing power.
We're entering Sector 7, Scott.
Take over control, Stars, and stand by for launching the dart.
Aye, Skipper. Wish I could go with you. Sure hate to miss this ride. There is a ship entering the area, sir. It must be the Space Angel. Come into my parlor, said the spider to the fly. It won't be long now, will it, sir? Be patient, Vanilla. Be patient.
Engine run-up test looks good, Torres. All systems go. I'll speed run the new engine first. Then make a pass at the asteroid belt and test the light ray.
Right, Skipper. I'm standing by to launch.
Stay on course 7.05. That will keep you clear of the asteroid belt.
I read you, Chris. Let her go, Torres.
Look at that baby go!
At 50% throttle, all systems go. Increasing power to 3/4. Speed, 86,000 and increasing.
Better back off, Scott, or you'll be out of the test area.
Aye, Skipper. You can't take that baby into the space lanes at that speed.
Roger. Firing retro rockets.
What tremendous thrust that little ship has. She's slowing down. Soon the Space Angel will be testing the light ray gun. It is time to make our move, Vanilla. Soon that power will be mine.
Lining up for a shot now. Got one in sight. Range 300 astrolines. The ray completely powdered that asteroid. Think I'll try a big one. I'd say the light ray is a complete success. Cal, there's an emergency flare right in the middle of that asteroid belt. Somebody's in trouble. I'm going in to investigate.
Now, what in the blazes would anyone be doing out there? It's way off the space lanes.
Well, it could be a prospector, but there are no records of any recent flights out there, Scott.
Well, someone's out there. There goes another flare.
There's something fishy about this. Watch your step, Skipper. Skipper, do you read me, Skipper? Come in, Skipper. It's no use, lass. We've lost him.
There's too much interference on that frequency. I'll try to pick him up on a higher frequency.
Good idea. I don't mind telling you, lass. I'm worried.
This is the general area where I saw those flares. If it was a spaceship, I should have spotted it by now. Uh-oh. What's that up ahead? Looks like a man. Are you all right?
Yes. I'm happy you spotted my flare.
Well, climb aboard. I'll get you out of here.
Starduster calling Dart 2. Come in, Scott.
All I see is a bunch of gravel out there. Everything's moving.
Starduster calling Dart 2. Dart 2. Scott, come in, please. There's still no answer, Taurus. Too much interference in that asteroid belt.
I think we'd better cruise out that way and take a look around. Yes, I was out here prospecting. I wrecked my ship on an asteroid.
Lucky I was in this area. I'll see if I can contact my ship and rendezvous for a pickup.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
What's the meaning of this?
I have need of your ship and your secret light ray to carry out my plans.
And just what are your plans?
My plan is to destroy the Space Council and install the Donovan plan for a perfect universe.
You're mad.
Genius is often mistaken for madness. Now you will get out of the ship. Without radio or flares, you will float for eternity in the asteroid belt. Just one of thousands of blips on a screen. Pick up anything, Chris?
There are 1,000 blips on that screen. I don't think we could find a freight train out there without some kind of signal.
I'm not entirely helpless, thanks to this little power pack. If the Starduster will just come into range to receive my signal.
Chris, this is the area where Scott last contacted us.
Taurus, I think I've got something. There's something traveling oblique to the asteroid belt.
Good, lass. I'll close in on it. It's a ship, all right, but it's not the Dart.
It's an explorer ship, EX-47. Better contact them. Maybe they've seen Scott.
EX-47. This is the Starduster. Come in, please. EX-47. This is the Starduster. Come in, please. I guess we better answer. This is EX-47. Go ahead, Starduster. EX-47. Have you seen a small ship in this area? Negative, Starduster. We haven't seen a thing. Thanks, EX-47. Starduster out.
This scope is useless, Taurus. I think I'll try the audio system.
Good idea, lass. If Scott is in trouble, he'd signal us on the emergency frequency.
Come on, Taurus. Get in range.
Taurus, I've got him. A very weak signal bearing 37 degrees.
Good girl, Chris. Altering course to 37 degrees.
Come on, Taurus. Chris, we've got to warn the Space Council.
Darley, you all right?
Get the evening star, quick.
But, Scott, I don't understand. How could you lose the dart?
No time to explain now, Professor. Just stop the Space Council meeting scheduled for tomorrow.
Scott, I can't do that without going through channels. You know...
Take my word for it. It's a matter of life or death. Stop that meeting.
All right, Scott. If you say so. Out here.
Man your stations, kids. We're heading back at flank speed.
And that's the whole story, Professor.
I know the man, Scott. That's Donovan. He had a plan to make all people more efficient through the use of computers. He called it the Donovan Plan. The Space Council expelled him 10 years ago.
The chief's calling you, Scott.
Oh, not in for it.
Go ahead, Chief.
How the devil could you let a weapon like that fall into the hands of that madman?
Sorry, Chief. An old prospector floating in space just didn't seem like a potential menace.
It wasn't entirely your fault, Scott. You remember Carter, my aide?
Yes, Chief.
He was Donovan's agent. I'm scrambling the whole Space Force with orders to blast the dart on sight.
It won't do any good, Chief. I'm afraid Donovan has the ultimate weapon. He can strike wherever and whenever he pleases. We are helpless.
That's right, Chief. The light ray could blast them all before they could get in range to use their space cannons. We'll have to find another way.
You'd better, or Donovan will control the galaxy.
If only I had known then that the dart was inside that explorer ship.
That's it, Taurus. Maybe we can get to Donovan and the dart through that ship.
Scott, we couldn't attack that ship. If we got within range, Donovan would launch the dart and blast us.
Professor Mace, where would you say that Donovan's base was?
Well, he attacked you in the asteroid belt here. And in a few hours, he will blast the Space Council on Jupiter. I'd say his base must be on one of the moons of Jupiter.
Exactly. Chris, get me the chief again.
You left me, lad. I can't see...
Chief's on, Scott.
What is it, Scott?
Chief, I have a plan. It may cost us a building, but I think we can get Donovan before he strikes again.
Well, go ahead. I'm game for anything.
Well, Donovan will put his ship in a parking orbit around Jupiter and launch the dart from there.
After the launch, and while he's blasting the empty Space Council building, we'll move in and take over the mother ship.
When he returns, we'll have a surprise for him.
It's going to take mighty close timing and a lot of luck. His crew could warn him.
Not if we surprise them before they could get a message out.
Well, it's worth a try. We've got to do something. Okay, Scott.
We've got to know the second Donovan launches. Have all the Jupiter tracking stations watch for that explorer ship, EX-47.
Right, Scott. And good luck.
Got an unidentified blip in Sector 1. That's it, all right. EX-47. Notify the Space Angel. Starduster, this is Jupiter Tracking Station.
This is the Starduster. Go ahead.
We have your bogey in Sector 1.
Sector 1. Tell them we're on our way. Keep all ships clear of that area. We're getting close, Taurus. Can you spot him?
Don't get too close or they'll spot us.
Hi. Got him. They're on orbital approach. They'll be launching the dart any time now.
Good. We'll wait here till he does.
Vanilla, stay in this orbit till I return. And if you're challenged, you know what to say. He's launched, Skipper.
Great. Stand by to take the controls. And Chris, contact the ship for a routine identification. I'll go overboard as soon as we get alongside.
I've been waiting 10 years for this moment. Goodbye, Space Council. Okay, Chris, do your stuff.
Explorer 47, this is the Starduster. You are off the space lane. Are you in trouble? Over.
We are making minor repairs. We'll be underway soon. No assistance required.
Roger, 47. Starduster out.
Lower the boom, Vanilla. I'll be coming in. Aha, Vanilla. Oh, no, the Space Angel.
That's right, Donovan. You failed again. That was an empty building you blasted.
Now we'll head back to Earth. You can try out the Donovan plan in prison.
Starduster returning to base.
And so ends the story of the Donovan Plan. Don't miss the next exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Fugitives.
Master Control, this is Neptune Space Force Station.
Go ahead, Captain O'Hara.
Major, we have a patrol ship overdue. He was on routine patrol between here and Uranus.
Just a minute, O'Hara. I'll put you through to the chief.
What's that? You mean he doesn't respond to his call signal?
That's right, Chief. Not a peep. He was on a routine patrol in Sector 3. We received no mayday.
The Starduster's in that area. I'll have Scott check it out.
Right, Chief. Thank you. Out here.
Major, get me the Starduster.
Yes, sir.
Right, Chief. We can be in that area in 10 units.
Good. Get back to me as soon as you make contact.
Hope that ship wasn't hit by a stray meteor.
Could be, Taurus. We'll soon find out. Area destination coming up, Taurus. Got anything?
I've picked up something. It looks like Space Force, all right. High at 1 o'clock.
Right. Correcting attitude, 15 degrees.
It's a Space Force ship, all right, and going like the devil. Switch on your forward viewscope, Skipper.
That's our missing ship, all right. I'll see if I can contact it. Space Force, Neptune, 4-1. This is the Starduster. Come in, please. No answer.
Radio must be out.
We'll pull alongside. Space Force, 4-1. This is the Starduster. If you hear me, flash your signal light. They blasted us. Quick, get your space helmet on. Taurus, are you... Oh, no.
Evening Star, this is Earth Control. Come in, please.
Evening Star here. Come in, Chief.
Mace, have you had any word from the Starduster?
Not since his last report to you that he'd sighted the missing ship and was closing in on her.
Why the devil doesn't Scott report in? Let me know if you hear anything.
Well, I'm sure they'll be reporting in soon.
I hope so. Earth Control out.
Evening Star out.
That should hold you till I can get you back to the Evening Star.
They blasted us. Why, Skipper? Why?
I don't know, Taurus. We'll find out later. Right now, just lie still. I'll see if I can get us underway.
Did you tell the chief about the ship, lad?
Can't, Taurus. Communicator's out. Emergency radio's out.
How about power?
We have AB power. Retros are knocked out. Port-turn jets out. Stabilizing jets out. But we'll get back. Just hang on, Taurus. Without retro rockets, I don't know how we're going to stop. But we're headed for home.
How will Scott land the Starduster even if he can get back to the Evening Star? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Fugitives. Last time, the chief of Space Force ordered Scott and Taurus to investigate the disappearance of a patrol ship. Scott located the ship, but when he tried to make contact, the patrol ship blasted the Starduster, leaving the craft practically helpless and Taurus injured. The Starduster turned and limped for home base.
Starduster, this is Evening Star. Come in, please. Still no answer. I don't understand it.
Dad, I'm worried. Something must be wrong.
Chris, we've got a blip. There's a ship coming this way. It could be the Starduster.
Oh, I hope so.
It won't be long now, Taurus.
Don't worry about me, Skipper. I'll make it.
We must be getting pretty close now. Guess I'd better turn her a little so I can see where we're going. Viewer's out, too. Luckily, we can still control attitude. There she is, Taurus. We'll have you in sick bay in a few minutes now.
Aye, me, you, and the Starduster. Unless you've got a way of stopping without retro rockets.
I'll have to cartwheel the ship, Taurus, and brake with the main power.
It might work at that.
It better.
Crystal, look out there. It is the Starduster.
Something's wrong, Dad. Their approach is way out of line. They must be out of control.
They're falling toward us. I'll have the emergency crew stand by. Attention, all personnel. Condition red. Collision imminent.
Secure all hatches. Stand by emergency pressure system. Emergency crews, man your stations.
Here goes, Taurus. Hang on. It might be a little uncomfortable.
Don't worry about me, lad.
Here goes nothing.
Good heavens. That was quite a maneuver.
Dad, the ship is badly damaged. Oh, I hope the boys are all right.
Launch control. Get a tug out there. Starduster's control systems are out.
Yes, sir.
Dad, look at the blinker signal.
Taurus, hurt. Stand by, medic.
How easy, Doctor.
Will he be all right?
Yes, he'll pull through, but that blast would have killed an ordinary man.
Taurus is no ordinary man.
It was worth getting blasted to get a kind word out of you.
Oh, Taurus, you're wonderful.
Did you find out who blasted it, Skipper?
Not yet, Taurus. But now that I know you're okay, I'll get right on it.
Don't plan on going anywhere without me.
You're not going anywhere for a while, big boy.
Chief, thought you'd want to know Taurus will be okay.
That's good news, Scott.
Any word on the ship that blasted us?
Nothing yet. O'Hara's searching the area where you were hit.
Chief, tell O'Hara to...
Hang on, Scott. Go ahead, Major.
Maybe O'Hara's got something.
Scott, that was a Mayday call. The orbital fueling station at Jupiter was just attacked by the missing Space Force ship. It was piloted by a tall, thin woman and some kind of general. Sound familiar to you?
Sure does, Chief. Queen Zora.
The evil Queen Zora and her henchman, the General. Will Scott be able to locate them and their stolen ship? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angels. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Fugitives. Last time, Scott and Taurus were blasted by a patrol ship they were sent to find. Taurus was injured by the blast. With almost all controls out, Scott maneuvered the great ship to a safe landing on the Evening Star, where the doctors assured Scott and Crystal that Taurus would be all right.
I'm afraid it's Zora, all right, Scott. And whatever her evil scheme is, we've got to stop her. How soon will the Starduster be operational?
It's under repair now, Chief. Should be ready by 0600.
Good. Be ready for blast-off at that time. I want you to handle this operation.
It'll be a pleasure, Chief. I'll be needing a Space Force squadron.
Take the whole Space Force if you need them, but track down that Queen. I want her alive.
You'll get her, Chief. Out here. Chris, contact O'Hara to scramble his squadron and rendezvous at Jupiter Fueling Station at 6 space periods.
Right, Scott.
Launch control. Ready Starduster for extended flight. And prepare for pre-flight check.
Starduster, this is launch control. You're clear to blast off in 5 space units. Are you ready for countdown?
Negative, launch control. All flight personnel not accounted for. Donovan was taking Taurus' place. He should be aboard.
Well, he was right behind us. I wonder what's keeping him.
He won't be here. We decided I would go instead.
Taurus, what are you doing here?
You need rest. You're not strong enough for a mission.
It don't take much strength to push a trigger button.
Okay, you old space goat. Launch control, this is Starduster. Crew complete, ready for countdown.
Roger, Starduster. Ready and counting. Starduster, this is Space Force Neptune. Come in, please.
O'Hara on channel 37.
Right. Space Force Neptune, this is the Starduster. Go ahead, O'Hara.
Well, Scott, we found the crew from the hijacked ship. It was Queen Zara, all right. Our ship found them in a capsule. When they stopped to pick her up, she and the General took over the ship and left our Space Force boys adrift.
I think I know where she's headed, O'Hara. From the point where she hit us to the refueling station is in direct line with the asteroid belt.
Right. She's probably hiding out on one of the asteroids so that our radar can't pick her up.
When you get there, split the squadron and search the asteroid belt. We'll join you there in 2 space periods.
Right, Scott. Will do.
Listen, General. It's the Space Force captain.
O'Hara to squadron. Change course 47 degrees. We're going to search the asteroid belt.
Sooner or later, they will find us here.
We can't take off, Your Highness. They'd shoot us down on sight.
They will be looking for ship number 41. You will change our number.
Even so, Your Highness, we will not have much of a head start. flying alone ahead of them. They will follow us.
We will not run, General. We will wait for the Space Force to split up and start the search. Then join them.
Just another Space Force ship searching for ourselves.
Yes. Now, change that number.
O'Hara to squadron. Asteroid belt coming up. Split up and hunt 'em out, lads.
They are coming, my general. It is time for the fox to become a hound.
They will not be looking for Space Force ship number 39. The fools do not suspect us.
And that is fortunate for them. I have the guns trained on them, just in case.
One false move and the Queen will blast them from the skies. Will her scheme succeed? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Fugitives. Last time, Scott, Crystal, and Taurus took off in the Starduster. They were headed for an asteroid belt where Queen Zora and the General were hiding aboard the stolen Space Force ship. When the Queen heard that the Space Force squadron was to join the Starduster in the search for her, she changed the number on her stolen ship to number 39. And then joined the squadron.
We will stay on this course until we reach the large asteroid Ceres. Then we will go behind it and change course for our home base.
Very clever. With Ceres for a shield, they will not see us until we have a good head start.
And since we have destroyed the Space Force fueling station, they cannot follow us very far.
O'Hara's squadron just ahead, Skipper.
Starduster to Space Force Neptune. We're coming in at 6 o'clock high.
I'm glad you're here, Scott.
Seen any signs of anything yet?
Not a sign, Skipper.
She could be hiding out on one of the bigger asteroids. Heros and Ceres are coming up.
All right, you are, Scott. Out here.
Your Highness, that's the Space Angel ship. I thought we knocked him out.
Do not panic, my general. I have the guns trained on him. I could destroy him once and for all.
No, Your Highness.
I will not shoot, General, unless, of course, the Space Angel sees through our disguise. Scott, the radar is useless in this asteroid belt.
I know, Crystal. We've got to depend on visual contact.
Hey, Skipper, something's wrong.
What is it, Taurus?
We've got two Space Force ships with the number 39. One on either side of us.
39 to port, 39 to starboard. Uh-oh. That Queen Zora is pretty sharp. Who'd ever look for her flying with the squadron? She just made a bad choice of numbers.
We'd better warn O'Hara.
Can't do that, Chris. She's probably tuned in on the Space Force channel.
What'll we do, Skipper? I just can't blast both 39s.
We'll let her make the first move. She's trying to get away. Probably waiting to change course using one of the big asteroids as a radar shield.
Scott, O'Hara on channel 37.
Right, Chris.
O'Hara to squadron. Well, that group of large asteroids ahead is the most likely hiding place. We'll have to locate them before long. We haven't much fuel left. Split up now and good hunting.
I will increase speed, Highness.
No, not yet, General.
Uh-oh. Number 39 on the port side is increasing power. And he's going behind a big asteroid.
So's the one on the starboard side, Taurus. What do you think, Taurus? Which one?
I'd say port side. He's almost at full power.
Right. Guess it's time to make our move. Stand by, space cannons.
They have all gone on the other side, General. Now you may change course and head for the base under full power.
We'll meet that ship as it comes out on the other end of the asteroid. Keep him covered, Taurus. I'm going to call him for identification.
But, Scott, if it is the Queen ship, they'll blast us first.
I'm afraid we'll have to take that chance. We can't follow both ships.
Aye, Skipper. It's coming out now. They're in my sights, and the crew had better be Space Force.
Starduster to Space Force 39. Come in, 39.
39 here, Lieutenant Brown speaking.
What's your position, Lieutenant?
Right off your port side, sir.
Thanks, Lieutenant. You stay right there on my port side.
Phew, what a relief.
Crystal, switch me to channel 231.
What's up, Scott?
Scramble the pack, O'Hara. Our Fox is on the other side of Ceres. They've changed the number to 39. And don't mistake Lieutenant Brown's ship for the Queen. He's riding my port side.
Squadron assembled. Target is Space Force Ship 39 on the other side of Ceres.
They are wise to us, Majesty.
Their wisdom comes a little late. They cannot catch us now. Their limited fuel supply will not allow them to pursue us very far.
As the evil Queen outsmarted the Space Force, will she go free to destroy again? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Fugitives. Last time, Queen Zora and the General aboard the stolen Space Force ship number 39 joined the squadron, flying right next to the Starduster. Taurus discovered that there were two ships with the number 39. By the time Scott knew which one was the Queen's ship, she had gone behind the asteroid called Ceres. The Space Force followed, but they were low on fuel supply.
No sign of them, O'Hara. They must have changed course as soon as they disappeared behind Ceres. Got anything on radar, Chris?
Yes, 4 astroleagues out and moving fast. Trajectory 2 points off Vector 5.
Must be headed for Uranus. We'll go after them.
The squadron will have to return for fuel, Scott. We'll join up with you in 20 units.
Right, O'Hara.
You see, General? They are turning back.
But the Space Angel has fuel. He will be coming after us.
Fine. We will call our base and arrange a reception for the Space Angel. Say, 6 or 8 fighters?
We're still closing on her.
She must know we're gaining on her. Sooner or later, she's got to fight.
No doubt she has a plan. I'd sure like to know what it is.
Scott, if she's using her communicator, I could probably pick her up.
Good idea, Chris. Give it a try.
Well, there's nothing on the low end. I'll scan the higher frequencies. That's it. Channel 4-4. I will lead the Starduster close to the base. Your squadron will pursue and destroy the Space Angel.
Well, well. An ambush. Her base must be on one of the moons of Uranus.
She's on a beeline for the 3rd moon.
What's the plan, Skipper?
I'll take the dart and go after the Queen. You decoy her fighters away toward O'Hara's squadron.
It won't be long now. Keep a sharp eye.
Here they come now, Taurus. 6 fighters coming up fast.
Aha! We'll lead them a merry chase.
So, the brave Space Angel is running away. After him, you fools. Taurus, Space Force coming in fast, just ahead and below.
Space Force, this is the Starduster.
What's the matter, Torres? Can't you get along without me for a few minutes?
Sure can, but since you seem to have so much trouble finding a target, I thought I'd bring you a few.
Wow, I'll say you did. Coming right up.
Good work, O'Hara. Swing back and pick up survivors. I'll go back and see if I can help the skipper.
Now I'll take advantage of the one weak spot in a Space Force fighter. The blind spot, right under the tail. Now, I'll let her know I'm here. Queen Zara, this is the Space Angel. You will eject, or I'll blow you out of there.
The Space Angel? Where are you?
Yes, Space Angel. We will do as you say.
No. Do not be fooled, General. He is bluffing. He is nowhere near us.
All right, let's do it the hard way. Starduster, this is the Dart. Come in, please.
Torres here. We're on the way back.
Did you get the Queen and the General?
Sure did. They're all packaged and waiting for pickup. Just like two peas in a pod.
And so ends the story of The Fugitives. Don't miss the next exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Rescue Mission. The Space Force Operations Building on Earth is the control center for all space traffic.
Jupiter 7, you are clear for blastoff.
This is Saturn 4-5 requesting automatic entry program. Over.
Mars 173, your trajectory is good. Cut power in 15 space units.
Mayday! Mayday! This is Survey 2 calling all stations. We have been hit by micrometeorites. Control out, power out. Over.
Lieutenant, we have a mayday from Survey 2 on the interstellar frequency.
Get their position. I'll notify Master Control.
Survey 2, this is Earth Control. Give us your position. Over.
Master Control, we have a mayday on Interstellar Channel 37.
Right, Lieutenant. Give me 37.
Earth Control, this is Survey 2. We are in Sector 7, subsection 390, orbiting Prometheus at 18,000. Over.
Give me Sector 7 on the astro chart.
There they are. They're awfully near the surface.
Survey 2, this is Master Control. We have you targeted. We'll dispatch rescue ship immediately. Keep us advised of your condition and location. Over.
Roger. We'll comply, and thanks. Out here.
There doesn't seem to be any ships in the immediate area of Prometheus.
No, sir. I guess the Space Force station orbiting Pluto is the closest. That's about 25,000 astro leagues away from them.
Good. Tell them to dispatch 2 ships immediately and notify the chief. Just below in the chief's office, Scott and Torres go over the flight test plans for the new Dart.
All the wind tunnel and vacuum chamber tests checked out, eh?
That's right, Chief. We're ready for actual flight check.
Pardon me, Chief. We have a mayday from the Prometheus area. We've dispatched 2 Space Force ships from the Pluto wing.
Yeah, that must be the survey ship. We'll be right up.
You can see on the astro chart the ships from Pluto are on the way.
Good, good.
We sure are moving fast.
Survey 2, this is Pluto 4. We have you on our scope. We'll arrive area destination at 12 space periods. Over.
Pluto 4? Well, that's only a local recon ship designed for Pluto environment. Major Todd to Pluto 4. What happened to the regular Space Force? Come in, Pluto 4.
They're all off the base. We're going out to do what we can. There are 2 of us, sir. This is Survey 2. We're losing orbital velocity. We're falling into Prometheus. Are you tracking us?
Major, tell them to eject as soon as they register atmosphere environment.
Master Control to Survey 2. Advise you eject at buoyancy level. Please acknowledge.
We read you, Major. Will do. Acceleration 2 Gs. Approaching ejection level. We'll contact you later by relay. I hope. Out here.
The light's out. They're down.
I hope they ejected in time.
Even if they did, they can't last very long on that planet. Its atmosphere is poisonous gas, and the gravity is almost 6 times that of Earth.
How about the Pluto ships? They'll be there in a few minutes.
They'll be of little use on that planet. They haven't the escape velocity to get off.
Pluto 4 to Master Control. We are in the area last reported by Survey 2.
Pluto 4, this is Master Control. See if you can spot the capsule. It should be in Section 12. But don't get in too close. You haven't the power to sustain an orbit. If you get closer than 2 astroleagues, you'll fall in.
Roger, Master Control. We are 2.5 astroleagues out and starting search.
Now, that's a mean-looking planet. Seems to have a heavy gaseous atmosphere.
The terrain is really rugged. Hey, I've spotted them. The capsule seems to be intact, but we are not getting any signals from them.
It's possible their signal isn't getting through the heavy atmosphere.
If we could get in a little closer, we might be able to pick it up. That is, if they're alive.
No, Pluto 4. Don't chance it. Even if they are, there's nothing you can do to help them.
Professor Mace on the Evening Star calling for the chief.
Put him through.
I just heard that Survey 2 is down.
That's right, Professor.
Chief, Scott, Crystal's on that ship.
Oh, no. Crystal is one of the crew on Survey 2. How can they survive on the desolate planet Prometheus? Don't miss the next exciting episode with Scott McCloud, Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Rescue Mission. Last time, a Mayday call was received from the rocket ship Survey 2. The ship was orbiting the planet Prometheus, with its controls out and power out. The crew had to eject and land on the desolate, uninhabited planet. Professor Mace had just informed them that Crystal was on that ship.
That's right, Chief. Survey 2 was launched from the Evening Star.
Professor, I thought she was on the Evening Star with you.
Survey 2's regular navigator wasn't feeling well, and Crystal asked to take his place.
Who else was on that ship?
Captain Rogers and Flight Engineer Bentley.
We'll get back to you, Professor Mace. Pluto 4 is reporting on them now. You can tune in interstellar frequency and get the reports.
Master Control, this is Pluto 4. We are getting a signal from them. They are all alive. Landing not too severe. Environment registers 20 atmospheres. Oxygen content negligible. Mostly heavy gases.
Get the exact gravity reading.
Pluto 4, can you give us an exact gravity reading?
Roger, Master Control. Gravity reads 5.5 Gs.
Wow. 5.5 times that of Earth.
How about a Jupiter ship? Their escape velocity is great enough, and a ship could be there in 30 space periods.
It wouldn't work, Taurus. Remember, they need additional boosters to get off Jupiter, and there are no boosters on Prometheus.
Chief, Dart 2 could get in and out of there. We have 10 million pounds of thrust and very little weight.
There are lots of holes in that plan. The Dart 2 hasn't been flight tested yet.
Even if you got there in 50 space periods, you could only bring out one at a time.
You'd never make it. And if the Dart didn't work, we'd lose another man.
A Jupiter ship could drop the oxygen they need. That would give us the extra time.
Might work. Well, they'd have to drop in a man in a motorized suit to hook it up. Remember, gravity's so strong, the crew can hardly move.
Space Force from Neptune can do that.
Aye, O'Hara's out there. He's the man for you.
How about it, Chief?
This is the chief.
Yes, sir.
Haul out Dart 2 and load it in the Starduster ready for testing. Immediately.
Starduster to control. Dispensing countdown. Clear me for blast off.
Roger, Starduster. You are clear for immediate blastoff.
Here we go, Taurus.
All set, Skipper. Blast away!
Starduster to Master Control. We're off and tracking.
Almost at the same time, the Starduster breaks into space. A needle-like ship with a great booster blasts off from Jupiter. In their bomb bay, they carry the life-giving oxygen for the downed space crew on Prometheus. And from a space station orbiting Neptune, a Space Force ship blasts off for the same destination. In its bomb bay, it carries a man in a motorized spacesuit, ready for the drop.
Master Control, this is Space Force 7. We are off and tracking. Roger, Space Force 7. We're tracking you. Control to Pluto 4. Relay message to Survey 2. Oxygen drop and rescue ships en route. ETA 40 space periods. Please acknowledge.
Roger, Master Control. We'll relay message. They'll be mighty happy to hear it.
Professor Mace on the Evening Star again.
Right.
Chief, I've been observing the planet Prometheus.
Yes, Professor.
There's a meteor cloud in orbit around that planet. That's what hit Survey 2.
What's its orbit time?
It comes around every 4 space periods.
Pluto 2's been there almost that long now.
Thanks, Professor. Tell Pluto 4 to get out of there.
Master Control to Pluto 4. Master Control to Pluto 4. Come in, Pluto 4. There's a meteor shower due at any minute. Come in, Pluto 4.
They're fading out.
Come in, Pluto 4. Come in, Pluto 4.
A meteor shower. Did the message get through to Pluto 4? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Rescue Mission. Last time, Crystal and the crew of the Survey 2 ejected and landed on Prometheus. They had precious little oxygen and could hardly move because of the gravity, which was 5.5 times that of Earth's. Scott McCloud's new ship, the untested Dart II, was the only ship powerful enough to escape from this gravity. Scott and Taurus blasted off in the Starduster with the Dart II aboard. Another ship blasted off from Jupiter with oxygen for the survivors. And still another ship blasted off from Neptune with Captain O'Hara aboard in a motorized spacesuit.
Master Control to Pluto 4. Come in, please.
Control's out. Transmitter's gone. No use fighting it, Vic. We're ejecting.
Well, let's go.
Pluto 5 calling Master Control. Orbiting meteor storm directly below us. Pluto 4 is out and falling. I repeat, meteor storm orbiting below us. Pluto 4 is out and falling. Crew has ejected.
I read you, Pluto. Can you accomplish pickup? Over.
Shouldn't have any trouble. Meteor storm is tailing out.
Good. Then return to your base. The other rescue units will take it from there.
Okay, Chief. Out here.
Major, alert the rescue units on that orbiting meteorite storm. They're to check it out with Professor Mace.
Will do, Chief. All units moving in on schedule, Chief.
Let's hope this works.
We get the message, Professor. We are approaching target now.
The meteor cloud is in elliptical orbit. It will sweep through target sector again in 4 periods.
We have just time to make the drop. Going into orbit. Out here. Space Force 7 calling Survey 2. We are on search. Give us a signal. I repeat, we are on search. Give us a signal. Give us a signal.
Survey 2 to Space Force 7. We're sure glad you're here.
Hey, how are you doing down there?
Oh, could be better. Oxygen low and we can hardly move in this gravity.
Well, hang on. Someone will be down soon to give you a hand.
You better hurry. The other 2 are out, I think. Here's our signal.
Got a fix on them. Correcting angle of approach. All set, O'Hara?
All set, Mac. As ready as I'll ever be. Let's lay this egg and hope it hatches.
Target coming up. Stand by for retro. On target. Stand by for drop in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, drop.
So far, so good. Coming in right on target. Landing okay, Mac. Better check on that oxygen freighter.
Will do, O'Hara. Out here. Space Force 7 calling Jupiter Big Shot.
Space Force 7, this is Big Shot. Over.
Man drop successful. You're next. Please give us your ETA.
Approaching target at full acceleration, ETA, 5 periods.
And that'll be a tight schedule. Meteor cloud due here in 6 periods. Better. Hold it. Come in, O'Hara. What's up?
Situation desperate down here. Can't arouse anyone. Oxygen rating nil.
Jupiter Big Shot due in 5 periods. Coming in under full power.
That'll be too late. I'll hook in my spare tank.
What'll you do for oxygen, O'Hara?
Well, if I run out, I'll hold my breath. Out here.
Space Force 7 to Jupiter Big Shot.
Come in, Space Force.
Situation desperate down below. Make ready to drop oxygen on orbit approach. Zero in on Survey 2 signal.
Okay, Space Force. Will do.
Will the Jupiter ship be able to drop the oxygen in time? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Rescue Mission. You remember last time, the rescue units made contact with Crystal and the crew of the Survey 2 downed on the hostile planet Prometheus. Captain O'Hara, in a motorized spacesuit, which enabled him to move in the heavy gravity, was dropped from the Space Force ship. The situation was desperate. O'Hara hooked up his spare oxygen tank, and Jupiter Big Shot made ready to drop the precious life-giving oxygen in a race against the meteor shower, which was due at any moment.
We'll only have time for one pass before that meteor shower comes. We'll skip into the atmosphere and make the drop.
Good luck, Big Shot. See you topside.
Here it comes, O'Hara, right on your tin head. Chute set to open at 10,000 feet.
Here they come. I can taste that oxygen already. Oh, no! The entry friction exploded the tanks.
Space Force 7. What's going on out there? Was the drop good?
Space Force 7 to Master Control. Negative, Chief. The tanks exploded in the heavy atmosphere.
How about Big Shot?
He's here and okay.
Roger, Master Control. Soon as we cool off, we'll try another drop. We will go in slower and lower. Do you have time? That asteroid cloud is due again any minute. We'll have to. O'Hara said situation desperate. Okay, Big Shot. The decision is yours. Roger, Master Control. Starting run. Stand by for drop.
Come on, chutes. Open. Oh, the drop's good. It won't be long now, kids. We'll get the tanks and be right back.
Thank goodness.
Best news I've ever heard.
Beautiful drop. Thanks, Big Shot.
Don't mention it, O'Hara. It's a pleasure to give you the air.
Come on, Big Shot. Asteroid cloud coming up fast. We're moving upstairs till it blows over.
Roger, Space Force. We're coming. Can't miss the asteroid cloud, though. We'll just have to plow through it and hope the shielding holds. So far, so good. Just like flying through a hailstorm. Breaking through. No damage to ship.
Good shoe, big shot. That's no spaceship, that's a bulldozer.
How's O'Hara doing down below?
This baby should solve our breathing problems for quite a spell.
Just in time. The oxygen reading is down to 0.
No, there you are. All the comforts of home.
Thanks, O'Hara. When we get out of here, remind us we owe you a party.
Pinned down by 5.5 Gs isn't much fun. I'll be glad when this is over.
Hey, upstairs. Hookup's made. Now all we need is our taxi.
Great, O'Hara. I'll see if I can get an ETA on the Starduster. Master Control, this is Space Force 7. Over.
Go ahead, Space Force 7. Was the drop successful?
Roger, Master Control. Drop successful. Survey crew okay. When is the Starduster due here? Over. Starduster is due in 1 space period. You can contact them direct on this channel. Roger, Master Control. Out here. Starduster, this is Space Force 7.
Space Force 7, this is the Starduster. We've been monitoring you and Big Shot. Well done on your operation. We'll be in your area in 1 space period.
Great, Scott. I guess it's up to you from here on. Out here.
We ought to have them all safe aboard in another 2 space periods.
I hope so, Taurus. If Dart 2 hangs together. Remember, she's never been flight tested.
A flight test that means life or death to those trapped on the hostile planet. Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Rescue Mission. Last time, O'Hara hooked up the oxygen tanks dropped by the Jupiter ship to the escape capsule where Crystal and the crew lay unconscious. Scott and Taurus, meanwhile, readied the new Dart in an attempt to pick them up from the heavy planet.
Space Force 7 and Big Shot, we're approaching rendezvous area. How are conditions down below, Mac?
Just talked to O'Hara. Crew's okay. He's hooked up the oxygen that Big Shot dropped.
Big Shot, what was your entry speed?
I had to maintain about 8,400 to keep from falling in, Scott. But it was mighty hot, even with our shielding. Coming out, we had everything open but the toolbox and just barely made it. Hope your landing ship has plenty of power.
I think it has. We'll find out soon. Okay, Taurus, take the controls and stand by to launch the dock. All set, Taurus. Pre-flight checkout, okay?
Aye, Skipper.
Lower away.
Good luck, Skipper. How's she handled, Skipper?
Just great so far, Taurus. But this is probably the toughest flight test the ship ever had. Coming in, O'Hara. What's the condition of the surface?
Now you're doing fine, Scott. Head straight for the sphere.
This gravity is really something. I see you've got a package for me, O'Hara.
Ah, that I have. And a pretty one, too. But she's sure heavy. Guess she ought to go on a diet.
O'Hara, after what you've done, you could say anything about me you like, and I wouldn't get mad at you.
Well, now, if this little ship has enough power to get us all out of here, we'll just hold you to that bargain, Chris.
Be back soon, O'Hara.
All right. You still got 2 more packages, you know. And me, don't forget me.
Can we make it, Scott?
We'll soon find out, Chris. Hang on.
Hey, anybody upstairs? The darts disappeared in the overcast. Can you see them from up there?
O'Hara, this is Torres. I can't see them. You sure that it didn't burn?
You don't know, Torres. The ship was awful hot.
I see them. They just broke through.
Dark to Starduster. Stand by for pickup.
Aye, Skipper. Have you got Chris?
She's fine. Right to Chris. Chris.
Oh, yes. I was just enjoying being able to move again.
Bomb bay open.
Stand by for hookup.
3 more times, the Dart II proves its capability as it returns through the poisonous atmosphere where O'Hara, in his motorized suit, loads the precious cargo, and the Dart again struggles against the heavy gravity into space where the Starduster waits. And finally, the big Irishman himself is picked up and carried into the safety of space and the Starduster.
Master Control, this is the Starduster.
Go ahead, Scott.
Rescue mission completed, Chief. Survey's crew are all okay. Notify Professor Mace, would you?
Right, Scott. Starduster, Big Shot, and Space Force 7 return to base.
All right, Chief. Starduster, returning to base.
Big Shot, returning to Jupiter.
Space Force 7, returning to Neptune.
Oh, come on now, Torres. Get me out of here.
What's the matter, O'Hara? You've got motors. Get yourself out.
Well, my batteries are dead.
I think we ought to leave him in there, Torres.
No, Crystal. You promised to be good if we got you off that planet.
Aye, Chris. Maybe when we get back to the base, we can find him a can opener.
And so ends the story of the rescue mission. Don't miss the next exciting adventure of Space Angel.
Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Visitor from Outer Space.
Of all the many dangers involved in space navigation, one of the worst is uncharted asteroids. These deadly missiles from outer space can destroy even the largest cargo ship. Therefore, it is of the utmost importance that they be charted upon the space charts of the solar system. It's Eros, all right. 5 miles thick and nearly 15 miles long. Its true course has never been plotted.
Didn't it nearly collide with her once, Professor?
Came dangerously close once. That was in 1931. It seems to be on a new orbit now.
Don't all asteroids follow a fixed orbit?
Not Eros. No one has been able to chart her accurately. It's almost as though she has a mind of her own. Don't most women? I have a theory about the erratic behavior of Eros.
What's that, Professor?
If I'm not mistaken, that asteroid has a small gravity field. This could account for her change in course. Makes sense, Skipper.
Why, yes. If Eros passed a planet like Earth in her orbit, she'd be slightly attracted.
She seems to have a life all her own. And amazingly enough, Eros is growing. And that I don't understand. Scott, based on this information, how about going out and charting her new course?
We should be able to intercept it in the area of the Van Allen belt. We'll blast off immediately.
Clear the tube for blast off.
Strapped in, gang?
Go here.
Aye, Skipper.
Launch control. We're ready for countdown.
Roger, Starduster. Control ready and counting.
Reactors, go.
Umbilical, go.
Cabin pressure, go.
Tube doors opening.
Angle of blast 230, vector 4.
Correcting angle.
Trajectory, go.
AB temperature, go.
Increasing power.
Chris?
Trajectory perfect. Acceleration 15 units.
Okay, kids. Man your stations and let's see if we can find that frisky asteroid.
Scott, the Evening Star is trying to contact us on Channel 37.
Right, Chris. Starduster here. What's up, Professor Mace?
Scott, there are heavy sunspot eruptions taking place. That means increased radiation in the Van Allen belts. Watch the radiation count closely. You may have to change your point of rendezvous with Eros.
Don't see how we can, Professor. If your theory is right, Eros will change course when it reaches the Van Allen belt.
We'll have to pick it up on the other side or take the chance of missing completely.
Well, don't risk your life going through that belt. If the radiation gets too hot, turn back.
Okay, Professor, we'll be careful. Starduster out.
Evening Star out.
We are approaching the outer belt now, Skipper.
Chris, how much radiation?
4.4. Not much higher than usual.
We'll be through it before we can do any harm.
What's the danger point, Skipper?
10 even. If we're exposed too long. Give us a reading, Chris.
9.3 and rising. 9.4. 9.5.
How about it, Skipper?
Brace yourselves, kids. We're blasting out of here.
Scott, the radiation is still on the increase. It's 9.9.
Something's wrong.
Cosmic disturbance dead ahead, Skipper.
10 and still rising, Scott.
The Starduster is being exposed to extremely dangerous radioactivity. What will happen to Scott and his friends? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel.
Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Visitor from Outer Space. Last time, Scott, Taurus, and Crystal blasted off, heading for the asteroid Eros in order to chart its course. As they flew through the Van Allen radiation belt, the Starduster was exposed to extremely dangerous radioactivity. Give us a radiation reading, Chris.
11.3 and still rising.
We can't ride through this much longer.
There's our call signal. Must be Professor Mace. Starduster here. Come in, Professor.
What's wrong out there, Scott? My tracking instruments record high radiation.
They read right. Our radiation reading is over maximum safety limits.
What is your reading at the moment?
Reading, Chris.
12 even. Still going up.
That's bad business, Scott. Don't take any chances. Get into the radiation chamber and ride this out. The sunspots must have created a solar storm. Those are solar flare particles we're dealing with.
Roger, Professor. Out here. I'm setting the Starduster on automatic. Everybody into the radiation chamber.
How about Eros, Skipper? Aren't we getting close?
Can't worry about that. We've already been dangerously exposed to radiation.
Well, come on, slowpokes. You're just asking for trouble. We're safe here. Radiation factor reads negative.
Hard to believe she's sizzling outside.
All we've got to worry about is the possibility of meeting Eros head-on.
We'll never know it, Skipper. Not in here.
Now, that's a nice, cheery little thought.
Our velocity was 1,000 space units. At that rate of speed, we should be able to pass through this stuff in another 5 units.
With Eros closing on us, that's a mighty long time, Skipper.
Right. The ARI will tell us when it's safe to leave this chamber.
What's the matter, lass? You look all in.
I don't know what's the matter. Oh, I feel so drowsy.
Oh, that's a woman for you, Skipper. Right in the middle of... They fall asleep. Who must be catching?
There's something wrong here. It's beginning to affect me.
Great Scott.
The oxygen.
Can't be right. Oxygen is normal. But something's
definitely wrong. I must stay awake.
Evening Star to Starduster. Evening Star to Starduster. Come in, Scott. Come in, Scott. They're in the radiation chamber, but surely Scott would switch on the auxiliary speaker in there. Evening Star to Starduster. Come in, Scott. Come in, Scott. Scott, Crystal. Crystal, are you all right? What's happened?
Oxygen okay, but I just can't figure this out. Why we can't breathe. Our CO2 converter system. The circulator's out. Warning lamp failed us. We're breathing our own exhale. We could have suffocated.
Skipper, what happened?
We were asleep. Hold it, Scott. Listen.
Our converter fan was off. In free fall, our breath just hung around us. It had no place to go.
Evening Star calling Starduster. Scott, Crystal, come in, please. Calling Scott McCloud. Come in, please. This is Professor Mace.
Professor Mace, sorry for the delay. Had a little trouble here. Okay now.
Scott, I can't locate Eros. Terrible interference.
Was she still on course when you lost contact?
Yes, but that was some time ago.
You better work fast. We're approaching rendezvous. Taurus, check environment.
Aye, Skipper. Outside radiation approaching normal, Skipper.
Good. Let's get back to our stations. Now remember, Taurus, we just want to find Eros. We don't want to hit it.
I got you, Skipper, but I can't see anything out there anywhere but space.
Has Eros changed course again? If so, where is it headed this time? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Visitor from Outer Space. Last time, Scott, Taurus, and Crystal, on their way to chart the course of the asteroid Eros, were exposed to extremely dangerous radiation. While they were in the deradiation chamber of the Starduster, Professor Mace reported that he had lost radar contact with the asteroid.
Still not a thing, Skipper.
Chris?
Negative. I've scanned the whole sector and she's simply not around.
I can't understand it. Eros has to be somewhere in the vicinity of Earth.
That asteroid is awfully fickle, Skipper. Maybe she decided to visit Mars instead.
Hold it, Taurus. Here's Professor Mace.
Come in, Professor.
I've picked her up, Scott. Eros is in orbit around the moon. When she hit that cosmic storm, she must have been deflected on a tangent.
No wonder we couldn't find her.
The Earth was blocking our scanner.
Circling the moon, eh? See, Skipper, I told you she was fickle. Eros is in a tight elliptical orbit and very unstable. She's a real menace to space traffic in that area, Scott.
We'll get right over there, Professor.
Out here.
Moon dead ahead, Skipper. Now coming into view. No Eros, though.
Probably around the back. There she comes now. The professor wasn't kidding. That asteroid is in a tight orbit.
Now that's the darndest thing I've ever seen, Skipper. Her orbital pattern changes each time around. What do you think, lad?
One thing for sure, Taurus. It's blocking every approach to the moon.
A pilot would be out of his mind if he tried to land on it.
Know what I think, Skipper? Charting that crazy asteroid is a waste of time.
You're right. Chris, get me Professor Mace.
Yes, Scott, right away.
That's right, Professor. Eros cannot be charted.
Then we really have no choice, Scott. We've got to get rid of her.
I read you, Professor. Out here. Have you heard the Professor? We've going to have to get rid of Eros.
Good idea, Skipper. But first, we've got to catch her.
Then hang on, gang. The fireworks are about to start.
What's our range, Chris?
300 astroleagues, Scott.
And closing in fast, Skipper. There goes Eros. She's holding pretty steady now.
Stand by. I'm going to try to match her course and speed.
Eros, dead ahead, Skipper.
Skipper, look out! Eros is erupting.
Volcanic blasts. Hang on.
Emergency. Full speed. All engines.
Where's Eros?
She is headed for the moon. Holy cow, it's bounced off.
Hang on. Eros has a new course.
Good heaven, she's headed towards Earth.
Oh, no. We've got to stop it.
A wild asteroid plunging through space. Can Scott prevent Eros from colliding with Earth? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Visitor from Outer Space. Last time, Scott, Taurus, and Crystal had located the erratic asteroid in orbit around the moon. It was decided that Eros could not be charted and was a real menace to space traffic, so it must be destroyed. As they closed in on the asteroid, Eros erupted and, changing course, headed straight for Earth.
We're gaining on that wild asteroid.
Uh-oh. There go those blasted jets again, Skipper.
She's changing course, Scott. Almost 45 degrees.
Chris, get me Professor Mace. That asteroid's now gone completely wild.
Right, Scott. Starduster calling the Evening Star.
That's it, Professor. No telling what Eros will do next. We've got a volcanic asteroid on our hands.
That's very serious, Scott. Those blasts coming from Eros could force her into one of the planets, maybe hit a city.
Scott, Eros is changing course again. Good golly. She's going into Vector 6, headed directly for the Evening Star.
Professor Mace, Eros is now heading for the Evening Star.
I know, Scott. My radarscope's warning system is at work. She's getting awfully close, son.
No! Eros must have struck the Evening Star. Dad! Oh, Dad!
Professor Mace, are you all right? Come in, please. Are you all right, Professor? Come in. Good grief, there she is. Look at that.
What a mess.
Dad has to be okay. He has to be.
Hold it. I think this is the professor. He's coming in on audio.
Hello, Starduster. This is Evening Star.
He's on the emergency frequency.
This is Professor Mace. Come in, Scott.
It's Dad. Oh, thank heavens.
Go ahead, Professor.
I'm okay. Eros just brushed us. The Evening Star was shaken up a bit.
Oh, we'll be okay, Scott. We're repairing the damage now. You get that asteroid before she does any more damage.
Will do, Professor. Out here.
She's lined up, Skipper.
Stand by to drop thermal package. Chris, open hatch.
Right, Scott. Hatch open.
She's down, lad.
I'll make this as quick as possible.
As soon as I activate that firecracker, I'll get Alpha Eros. We'll rendezvous as planned.
Be careful, Scott.
Watch out for that asteroid, Skipper. She's tricky.
Stand by to launch space dock.
Package. About to arm bomb.
Hurry, Skipper. That asteroid can change course at any time.
There. She's activated. Taurus, I'm ready to head back. Stand by for...
She's beginning to erupt again, Skipper. Get off! Get off!
Stupid! Space Dark's gone.
He's stranded, Chris. Scott can't get off Eros.
Oh, no. Scott trapped on a volcanic asteroid. Can he be rescued before the thermo bomb explodes? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Visitor from Outer Space. Last time, you remember the decision was made to destroy the wild asteroid Eros. Scott landed in a space dart and activated the thermal bomb. Just at that moment, Eros erupted and the space dart was demolished, leaving Scott stranded.
Skipper, are you okay? Come in, lad.
All right for the moment, Taurus. Things are getting rough.
Stand by, lad. We're coming for you.
No, you old bull. No sense all of us getting it. Stay out of here. That's an order.
Skipper, this is one time I'm glad to disobey an order. Now, if we don't make it in time, you can court-martial me.
Lower the bosun's chair, Chris.
Right, Taurus. Chair down, Taurus.
Good girl, Chris. The skipper's climbing in. Now, if we can get him aboard before that bomb goes off.
Okay, here, Taurus. Go ahead.
Gotcha, Skipper. Hang on.
Easy does it, Chris. Get him on the radar scope. Pinpoint his position.
Radar scope activated. It's no use, Taurus. I'm picking up debris from Eros. I can't tell which blip is Scott.
Hang on, Carol. I'm going after him.
Starduster. Get in, please.
It's no use. My transmitter's out.
That's about it, Professor. Scott's adrift somewhere out there.
Torres, I think we can get a fix on Scott through triangulation. Use his environment indicator and set your course. I'll do the same from here. Chris, stand by to chart his position.
Right, Dad. Start anytime. I found him, Torres.
We found him, Professor. Contact later and thanks. Out here.
Stand by retros, Chris. I've spotted the skipper on the viewer.
He's indicating his transmitter's out, Chris.
Prepare to pick him up. Stand by, the skipper's A-OK.
There's Eros now, heading right for the sun.
She's gone, Scott.
What she could have done to space navigation.
A real temperamental little gal, Skipper.
A devil of a gal, if you ask me.
Hey, I've got an idea. Why don't we take a short cruise around the planet Cambria?
Now, if that isn't a silly idea, it would take us weeks.
Any particular reason, you old bull?
Well, after that collision Eros had with the Evening Star, there's an awful lot of work waiting for us when we get back. I was kind of hoping we'd miss it.
And so ends the story of The Visitor from Outer Space. Don't miss the next exciting adventure with Scott McCloud, Space Angel.
Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Exiles. Prison ship from Hollenbeck. You can set your clocks by that, baby.
Exiles on their way to the rock.
Exiles?
Scum of the solar system, Chris. The maximum security gangster elements from every planet in the galaxy.
They give me the shivers.
The rock is the most heavily guarded spot in the galaxy, Chris.
Just the same, what if there's a big prison break?
Well, they don't furnish them with spacesuits, you know. Relax, Captain, and your crew will not be harmed. All we want is your ship.
You'll never get away with this, low guy.
Are you trying to tell me I don't know my trade? I'm a professional, Captain. Commandeering your ship is a necessary step in our plan for liberating the Queen and your other guests on the rock.
The Queen? She's your leader?
But of course. You won't get away with this, low guy. Ah, Captain, but I will. You will see. But enough conversation. The Queen's expecting us. Take the captain below and release the prisoners.
What is this? Where's the captain?
You will please drop your blaster or you evaporate.
Why, you...
Get him! Now, round up the rest of the Boy Scouts and release the Queen.
You idiotic fool. What kept you so long? I've waited for months.
We were unavoidably detained, Highness. They questioned us for months before transferring us to this place.
Be quiet. General, apprise this bumbling imbecile of our plans.
Her Majesty has conceived of a means of making a rocket invisible. An invisible rocket? Yes. With such a craft, the riches of the universe will be ours.
And with the prisoners of this asteroid supplying our crew, we'll have the most talented assortment of cutthroats ever assembled.
But, Highness, What about the Space Angel?
The Space Angel. He shall be taken care of.
The Queen and her crew of cutthroats begin their patrol of the space lanes in the invisible ship, attacking the space freighters and taking their rich cargoes. Captain, there's a ship right on top of us. It came out of nowhere.
Hey, what did we hit?
Pressure loss in engine room, sir.
What in blazes is happening?
Space pirates! Help!
Space pirates, break out the arms.
That would be inadvisable, Captain. You will do exactly as we say, or suffer the consequences.
What a haul, Highness! Plutonomite in liquid form!
Hear that, my dear General? Plutonomite.
It's only the beginning, Highness. Only the beginning.
The invisible ship has no trouble sneaking upon the unsuspecting space freighters. By the time the crews realize what is happening, it is too late.
C4X Bravo. We're being hit by space pirates.
Chief, we have a mayday from C4X Bravo. They say they're being attacked by space pirates.
Space pirates? Get a squadron out there on the double.
Heavy freighter 450, Mayday. Space pirates, Mayday. Tanker 100, space pirates, Mayday, Mayday.
Space pirates? Not again. How many is that?
7, sir.
7 acts of piracy, and our Space Force can't find a thing. Dispatcher, get me the Evening Star. I want to talk to Scott McCloud.
Can Scott McCloud succeed in finding an invisible ship in space? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Exiles. Last time, as the prison ship carrying the most hardened criminals in the galaxy sped past the Evening Star, headed for the prison asteroid, the Rock, Logai, a dangerous gangster, commandeered the ship. He landed on the Rock and released the evil Queen Zora and the rest of the prisoners. The Queen and her general had completed plans for making an invisible rocket ship. With the released prisoners acting as crew, the Queen and her invisible ship hijacked 7 spaceships in the area. The chief of the Space Force put a call through to the Evening Star to Scott McCloud.
I'll get to work on it right away, Chief.
Any idea who's behind these attacks?
No, Scott, no survivors. They take the cargo and crew, then they seem to disappear. And I mean disappear.
That's a new wrinkle.
We'll do our best, Chief. Out here.
Good luck, Scott. Out here.
Now, how can a 50-ton spaceship just up and disappear? It doesn't make sense.
Crystal Miguel, when 5 of the best space pilots this side of Jupiter say they saw a spaceship disappear, I, for one, believe them.
Obviously some form of camouflage, but highly developed.
Scott, look at this.
Yes, Professor.
There appears to be a set pattern established here. Each cargo vessel was attacked in 1, 3, 5, 7, and over here, 9.
What do you make of it, Professor?
There are 2 possibilities offered. This mystery ship could be coming from either Uranus or the dead planet. Jumpin' Jehoshaphat.
The Queen. I wonder if she's escaped.
I doubt it, but it might be worth checking into, Crystal.
Okay, Scott. I'll check with security.
Mayday! Mayday! We're being attacked! Vector 6, Section 2. Mayday! We're being attacked! Vector 6, Section 2.
Vector 6, Section 2. Ah, here we are. Oh, that's a far jump from the last strike, Scott. This attack is taking place near the end of our galaxy. Those space pirates really move around.
Professor, notify the chief. Crystal, you and Taurus prepare the Starduster for blastoff. I think it's time the Space Angel took a hand in this.
Mayday! Mayday! We are being attacked in Vector 6, Section 2. Mayday!
Enough. That should get the Space Angel and the bungling Space Force out of the way.
Very clever, Highness. Very clever. I congratulate you. We've located that cargo fleet, Highness. 4 tugs fully loaded with beryllium peroxide.
Enough fuel to last us for years.
Shall I alert the crew?
At once. While the Space Angel is off on his wild goose chase, we strike. Not even a meteorite, Scott.
I've never seen so much nothing, Skipper.
Stand by. We're heading back to our own system.
I think we've been duped.
You fools. Can't you see we're being attacked?
And what, Captain, and what?
Space pirates! Space pirates!
Scott heads back toward the vicinity of the previous attacks.
Scott, look!
It's them, all right.
Stand by. Get set for attack.
Aye, Skipper. Another ship, Highness. Look, it's the Starduster.
Quickly, cut the lights and engines.
What the? She disappeared, Skipper. What now?
Keep your face in that scanner. We'll close on the area where the ship was.
Highness, look. He's maneuvered alongside.
He can't see us. The fool. He's blundered into a position where we can blast him into infinity. Ready all guns.
Can the Starduster withstand a direct hit from the invisible spacecraft? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Exiles. Last time, Queen Zora and her henchmen escaped from the prison asteroid and in the invisible rocket ship attacked 7 spacecraft, leaving no trace. As Scott, Crystal, and Taurus and the Starduster were returning to the base after answering a false call for help, which the Queen had broadcast, they came upon space pirates attacking a cargo ship. As they came closer, the spacecraft disappeared before their eyes. Scott unknowingly brought the Starduster alongside the invisible ship, and the Queen made ready to blast him from space.
To jump in Jehoshaphat!
Scott!
Hang on, we're okay.
The Starduster's still there. That's impossible.
Highness, we hit it with everything we have.
That craft is impervious to heat ray.
We're drifting out of range from the recoil of our salvo.
Continue the drift until they depart. Then return to the base. Should we meet again, my armor-plated friend, be prepared for disintegrators.
Just let those sneaking, bushwhacking Bluebeard types try it again and I'll powder them.
Give it up, Taurus.
Give it up!
They know their heat rays can't hurt us now. It'd be suicide for them to give their position away with another try. Stand by. We'll pick up the tug survivors and head in.
A ticklish situation, to say the least. You mean you watched it disappear?
That's right.
Aye, and in the nick of time, too. I had him right in my sights.
Scott, message from the chief. Evening Star here. Go ahead, sir.
We have just learned that the Queen and her general have escaped from the rock.
They've released the other prisoners and destroyed the communication system. I am convinced she is at the bottom of this piracy.
If she's escaped, there's no doubt about it, Chief. This is the break we've been waiting for.
Right. And you'd better work fast.
Will do, Chief. We'll take off immediately for the dead planet.
If the Queen's still using that hideout, we'll get word to you.
Okay, Scott. We'll wait to hear from you.
I'll send a Space Force squadron to that vicinity in case you need help. Out here.
Out here.
So, The Space Angel is coming to visit us, eh? That is good. That is very good indeed. You are to be congratulated, General. Discovering the Space Council's ultra-frequency allows us to obtain information that is indispensable.
I am pleased, Your Highness. Your Highness no doubt has a plan.
Of course, Logai. We will eliminate the Space Angel once and for all.
Orbital pattern. We're going to leave the Starduster upstairs while we investigate.
Leave the Starduster? But...
Yes. We'll take the landing sphere.
Not so much danger of being seen if they are here.
Right, and we can always land the Starduster if we need it.
Let's go.
So good.
Scott, look! Welcome, Space Angel. You will please retreat to that cave entrance on your left. You have 10 seconds to get away from your landing craft.
She's got us for sure now, Skipper.
Better do as she says.
Oh, no! Our sphere! What now?
What will happen when Scott and Taurus are taken before the Evil Queen? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Exiles. Last time, Queen Zora intercepted a Space Force message ordering Scott McCloud to blast off for the Queen's hideout, the Dead Planet. Scott, Taurus, and Crystal sped on their way. They left the Starduster in orbit and landed in a space sphere, where they were met and captured by a robot.
So, Space Angel, we meet again. I have anticipated this moment for a long time.
Can't anything stop your evil shenanigans? You pig! How dare you talk thus to our queen?
Logai, that will not be necessary.
The worlds of the solar system have been alerted, Queen Zora. Why go on? You can't possibly fight us all.
It is your solar system that must beware. I now have an army of the most violent creatures from all your planets. They anxiously await the moment to attack. There are many among your peoples that they wish to meet.
I see.
You are a fiend.
Steady, Chris. Highness, let's put them away. We have much work to do.
Patience, Logai. I must savor this moment. You see, we shall never see these earthlings again. Throw them into the dungeon. I have a rather unique plan for getting rid of my guests. The 3 earthlings should appreciate such a unique experience. The switch, General. Very good.
Beautiful.
First thing we better do is land the Starduster.
That's kind of risky, isn't it?
It's a risk we'll have to take.
You're always one jump ahead of me, Skipper.
Yeah. Now we're ready.
Chris, you and Taurus watch for the guard.
Coast clear, Skipper. Go ahead.
Easy, old girl. Settle down easy like.
I'm glad that's over.
Good work, Skipper.
I sure hope no one saw it land.
Don't think they did. Or they'd have blasted it.
Just let me at those bars.
I'm afraid those bars are too big, Taurus, even for you. I'll use the hydro torch.
All clear.
You two get to the ship. Taurus, get our weapons and come back here.
Chris, contact the Space Force and stand by to lead them in. I'm going to do a little snooping.
To you, Logai, goes the honor of escorting our guests on their last walk.
A pleasure, Highness. Will you accompany me, General? Of course. But keep your blaster ready. The Space Angel may have a trick up his sleeve.
Can Scott stop the evil Queen's plans for them? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Exiles. You remember last time, Scott, Taurus, and Crystal were captured by the evil Queen Zora on the dead planet. In the cell, Scott landed the Starduster by remote control. And then blasted the bars with his hydro torch, just as Logai and the General, with guns drawn, approached the cell door.
Skipper, you in there?
Come on in, Taurus, before you're spotted.
Chris got the Space Force. They'll be here in a couple of hours. What'd you find out?
No clue to the invisible ship. I scouted 2 of the passageways. Their main force seems to be...
Shh. They're coming.
Let's take them, Taurus. I've got a plan.
You 3 Earthlings will come with us to the Queen's chambers. Stand away, big one. I wish to talk with the Space Angel. I refuse to move. Blast him, General. It's a pleasure, Logai.
Not even a goodbye, General?
The Space Angel.
Drop your gun, General.
All right.
Your little game is over. The Space Force is on the way. Now back out the door. I said move.
The door? What happened?
General tripped that metal door and got away.
General, what have you done? This is Logai. Don't leave me. Skipper, the General. He'll sound the alarm.
Taurus, tie Logai up. I'm going to blast the door.
The Space Force! You stupid fool! We must escape! Quick, to the ship!
But the army, Highness. They must be warned. And Logai...
Logai and the army are the price we pay for your bungling. Now, get to the ship. Quickly, into space, where we cannot be seen.
They're getting away.
Let's get back to the Starduster. We've got to stop her. Anything, Taurus?
Not a thing, Skipper. They're probably there, but we can't see them.
Now we'll never catch them.
Search for the afterburner flame, Taurus.
Aye, Skipper.
What about the squadron from GHQ? How soon will they hit this sector, Chris?
They gave me an ETA of 15 space units, Scott.
When they arrive, we can make a triangulation check. It's an ambush. Give me a fix, Taurus.
Stand by, Skipper.
Those were disintegrator blasts. I hope our 4-field deflectors hold.
No luck, Skipper. They're not about to give away their position.
They could be any place out here.
They're probably moving in for a closer shot. Chris, check the constellations on the port side. Taurus, check on the starboard side.
Okay, Skipper, but I don't get it.
You will, Taurus. That is, if it works.
All set, Scott.
Check, lad. Go ahead.
Capricorn.
Check.
Sagittarius.
Check.
Aries.
Check.
Aries. Aries? But that's in her sector, too.
That's it, you old bull. Let's see you place a bullseye right in the center of that constellation.
Skipper, have you lost your blooming mind? How can you hear constellation?
Do as I say, Taurus, quick.
Okay, here goes. Jumping Great Danes!
Good heavens! Scott, how did you know?
Simple enough. When you and Taurus both spotted Aries at opposing ends of the galaxy, one of them had to be a fake.
Sure.
The Queen ship must have been composed of mercury quartz, the kind used in trick mirrors.
Why, sure, the whole ship was just a big, fancy mirror.
That's what made it invisible. It reflected blank space.
Exactly. Chris, contact Space Force and tell them to pick up survivors.
If there are any.
And add, mission accomplished.
And so ends the story of The Exiles. Don't miss the next exciting adventure of Scott McCloud, Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Slave World. As you know, every 30 years, these two planets orbit through our galaxy. And for a couple of months, we get a fairly good look at them.
I remember them, Chief. They move in a contrary orbit to the rest of our planets.
Exactly. And since the development of this new telescope, we've had a chance to get a closer picture of these babies. There's every reason to believe that both of these planets are in...
What strange-looking stars.
Not stars, Crystal. Spacecraft. Like saucers.
Saucers like we used to see from Earth?
Yes, and they undoubtedly came from this smaller planet. Scott, I want you to go there, and if you find intelligent beings, invite them to join the Interplanetary Council.
We'll take off immediately.
Oh, darn, there goes my hair appointment.
Maybe they have beauty parlors out there, Crystal.
Oh, Taurus.
Planet's dead ahead, Skipper.
Oxygen indicator positive. They have an atmosphere.
Reverse G seats. Stand by for entry.
Scott, the little planet has a volume equal to Earth's moon.
Radiation is high, but safe.
Firing retro rocket. Reversing ship for landing. Not a sign of life.
What did you expect, a welcoming committee?
Sure is quiet out there. We better take our blasters, Skipper, just in case.
Let's go down and take a look around.
It sure doesn't look inhabited to me.
Scott, look! A flying saucer.
Say the word, lad, now.
Hold your fire, Taurus. We come as friends from the outer galaxy.
Welcome to Utopia. We were expecting you. I am known as Ito. We are to take you to Sesam, our ruler.
Thank you. We're anxious to meet with him.
They look just like we do.
Come. We will take you in our surface craft.
How far is it to your city?
It is not far. Soon we will go underground and transfer to the tube.
What is the tube, Ito?
The tube is our underground transportation. All of our cities are underground.
We have arrived. This is our Capitol building. Cecum awaits you.
And so, on behalf of the Interplanetary Council, we're pleased to invite your planet as a full member.
To be governed by its laws and share in its benefits. If only we could, Commander. Unfortunately, we have no control of our affairs. Utopia is a slave state.
Slave state? In this day and age?
Well, we'll fix that. No, my friends. It cannot be fixed. Our very existence is controlled by Spartania. What great power does Spartania have over the planet Utopia to keep it a slave planet? And how will Scott be able to help? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Slave World. You remember last time, Scott, Crystal, and Taurus blasted off in the Starduster for 2 small planets that orbit through our galaxy once every 30 years. They landed on the smaller planet and started exploring when a flying saucer appeared. The friendly pilot, Ito, took them underground to Cecum, the ruler of Utopia, who explained that Utopia was a slave to its planet Spartania.
What power do the Spartanians have over your people?
Many centuries ago, the Spartanians declared war on us. Because we were a peace-loving people, we were not prepared to defend ourselves.
They orbited megatomic ray stations around our planet.
Observe the view screen.
They can activate the ray stations at will, contaminating our atmosphere.
Of all the dirty tricks.
In all these years, why haven't you contacted us for help?
We tried on several occasions. We sent out our saucers. Let me show you.
We had hoped to find a civilization more highly developed than our own, who could help us resolve our interplanetary dispute. But a horrible sight awaited us when we arrived at your Earth. We found you Earthlings engaged in primitive battles among yourselves. That was the First World War.
Oh, how terrible.
Many years passed before we again sent saucers to your world.
World War II.
Seems pretty ridiculous, doesn't it? But there were intervals of peace between these conflicts.
That may well be.
We never attempted to contact you again. We have accepted our fate.
But that was a long time ago.
That's right. Wars have been outlawed in our solar system. In fact, the whole galaxy.
That's right, Cecum. We now have the Interplanetary Space Council to enforce peace. And I can assure you it has the power to do so.
No, my friend. We cannot risk it. Spartania could destroy us in a matter of hours.
The Spartans are here. What shall we do?
Prepare for tribute.
Tribute? What tribute?
Whenever they ask, we must pay tribute to the Spartanians.
Let us go to the surface, and you may see for yourselves.
Is this the tribute you must pay? Your own people?
Yes, Scott.
How barbaric.
All must take their turns at serving the Spartanians.
I wouldn't submit to slavery. Why don't you fight them?
That would not be very utopian.
This is the only way our race can survive.
Remember, the Spartanians could suffocate our planet in a matter of hours if they chose to do so.
I think it's time we paid a visit to these Spartanians.
No, my friend, you must not go there. The Spartanians are not to be trifled with.
Well, now, we didn't intend to trifle with them.
Scott, the saucer's blasting off.
So are we, Chris. Just as soon as we can get back to the Starduster. We'll put a stop to this nonsense once and for all.
Can Scott, Crystal, and Taurus free the small planet of Utopia from slavery? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Slave World. Last time, Sesam, the ruler of Utopia, explained to Scott, Crystal, and Taurus how the neighboring planet Spartania orbited megatomic rays around the small planet. As they were talking, the Spartanians' spacecraft landed. Those Utopians chosen to serve as slaves file on board to be taken to Spartania. Scott, Chris, Taurus blasted off for the neighboring planet.
We're in free flight. This is going to be a short run.
Old Sesam was sure upset about our going to Spartania.
I guess he has good reason to be upset. The Spartanians must be terrible people. Can you imagine a slave state in the 21st century?
There it is, altering course for orbital approach. Guess I better radio in for landing instructions. Spartan Control, this is the Starduster from the United Planets Outer Galaxy, requesting permission to land.
I wonder if they'll let us.
Starduster, this is Spartan Control. Permission denied. You have no official business here.
On the contrary, this is an official visit. We represent the Interplanetary Space Council.
We do not recognize your space council. We are masters of our own affairs. Strongly suggest you turn back.
I wonder if they're as big as they sound.
Starduster to Spartan Control. We're landing. Notify your superiors.
Very well, Starduster. We'll give you a homing beam on Interstellar Channel. Stay on the beam. Your ship will be covered by disintegrating rays at all times.
Well, now, that's what I call a friendly invitation.
Stand by for vertical landing. Extend landing legs.
Landing legs extended.
So far, so good.
Crystal, you stay aboard. We'll keep our intercom open to the Starduster's frequency. If we get in trouble, you'll know it. And contact the Space Force for help.
Right, Scott.
Skipper, here comes a surface craft.
Let's go out and meet it.
No driver. Must be remote controlled.
Well, hop aboard, Taurus.
The invaders will please follow the blinker guides to the conference room.
Invaders? That must mean us, Skipper.
I suppose it does, Taurus. Let's go. Well, here we are.
What a place to throw a ball.
These are the terrible Spartanians? I was expecting men.
They may be physically weak, but remember their strength and intelligence.
Well, intruders, state your business. What does your Space Council want of us?
We've come to invite you to join the Interplanetary Space Council. However,
we must protest your practice of forced servitude.
We have no interest in your Space Council. By what right do you interfere with our affairs?
for the right of individual freedom and equality.
Spartania recognizes only the power of the superior mind.
If it's power you respect, the Space Council has plenty of that, too.
In other words, you intend to force us to give up our slaves?
The decision to use force is not up to me. But we certainly must report to the Space Council what we found here.
Fools, I can destroy you with a touch of my finger.
That's perhaps. But you'd have the whole galaxy to answer to.
Huh. Very well. We accept the challenge.
Oh, no! Mayday! Mayday! Starduster calling Space Control. Come in, please. Oh!
You will turn off the communicator and come with me, Earth creature.
Did the Space Control Center receive Crystal's message, or are Scott, Taurus, and Crystal completely cut off from outside help? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Slave World. Last time, Scott, Crystal, and Taurus landed on the planet Spartania. Leaving Crystal aboard the Starduster, Scott and Taurus went to find the ruler. Scott protested the Spartanian practice of slavery against the planet Utopia. As they were about to leave, the ruler paralyzed Scott and Taurus with a ray beam. Crystal, aboard the Starduster, sent an emergency call, but she was captured before the call was completed.
I suppose I have no choice, little man, since you have a weapon and I am defenseless.
Precisely. And it is my intention that you remain defenseless. Now let's join your friends.
Yes, Chief, I'm sure it was the Starduster. She said Mayday twice, then the emergency homing signal.
Send a squadron from Pluto to investigate.
Right, Chief.
I think that should be enough.
Skipper, I can't move.
I can't either, Taurus. It was some kind of paralyzer ray.
Just temporarily, so that you will see the hopelessness of your situation. The full power would have made you permanently immobile.
We're not entirely without resources ourselves.
Is that so? Can you turn your heads yet? We have the other member of your crew. She was trying to communicate with her people, Excellence. I suspected as much. We Spartanians are not easily fooled.
Then what do you intend doing with us?
With proper discipline, you might become good slaves. Hoth, take them to their quarters. Did you get a message through to the Space Force, lass?
I didn't have a chance, Taurus, but I switched on the emergency homing signal.
And there's probably a squadron on the way out here now.
Skipper, they won't know what to expect. They could fly right into a trap.
Exactly. The Spartanians can activate those ray stations and wipe them out, along with the planet Utopia.
Then we've got to get to a radio and warn them. But how?
Scott McCloud.
Seize him.
What are you doing here?
Never mind that. I've been thinking. You have been risking your lives to help free my people.
That's our job, Cecil.
I know. And I owe it to my people to help you if I can.
Do you have a service craft we can use?
Yes, I have. But how will you get out? I have no weapon.
I think we can manage it. How about it, Taurus?
Shouldn't be too difficult. Just stand back, Cecil.
What's he going to do? They took all our weapons.
Not all of them, Chris.
We still have Taurus strength.
What tremendous strength.
Let's go.
You have a fix on the Starduster signal yet?
Triangulation fixes the Starduster in the area of the twin planets.
Base Force 1 to Squadron. Our destination seems to be in the area of the twin planets. Stay tight and keep your eyes open.
stay out of sight till we get through the city.
We will.
Don't worry.
All clear.
So far, so good.
You know where our ship is, Season?
Yes, I know.
I will take you to it.
Scott, we'll never get off the ground. Their surface rays will blast us if we attempt to take off.
Not if we can knock out the ray stations before we blast off.
First, we've got to find them.
I know where all their installations are. Our people had to build them.
That's great, Cecil. If you'll point them out to us, we'll do the rest.
We are nearing your ship.
Sit down where there's cover.
Your Excellence, the prisoners have escaped.
The fools. They can't get off this planet. Notify all stations to shoot them on sight. What about their ship, Excellence? Cross the disintegrator beams over their ship. If they try to take off, their ship will become their tomb.
What will happen when the Starduster blasts off into the disintegrator beams? Can Scott's plan possibly work? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Scott McCloud, Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Slave World. Last time, Scott, Torres, and Crystal escaped from the Spartan dungeon and headed back toward the Starduster with Sesam. The Spartans, meanwhile, had crossed disintegrator rays over the ship, so that if they tried to off, they would be destroyed.
You know where the ray stations are that would be covering our ship?
That strange-looking tower across the valley is one.
Its ray is invisible. You cannot tell with the eye whether it is on or not.
There's another one on the opposite side of the valley.
I see. They've really got us boxed in.
That's why they landed us in this valley.
This is as close as we dare get with a saucer. You'd better take it from here on foot.
Thanks, Season. If we make it, we'll be back with our Space Force.
Thank you, my friends. I must get back now before I'm missed.
I've got a definite fix on the Starduster homing signal. It's coming in from the larger planet. Keep trying to reach them.
Aye, aye.
Ready, gang?
Aye, Skipper.
Right, Scott. Should I radio the Space Force?
No, Chris. If we started broadcasting, the Spartanians would know we're here and blast us before we could get a message off.
I can see the rays crossed over us on the infrared detector. I wonder why they haven't blasted our ship.
Either they don't know we've escaped yet, or they're just waiting for us to fly into the ray on liftoff.
We'll blast them on liftoff. Right, Skipper?
Right. We don't want to give them time to put any other rays into action.
Sounds like awful close timing. I hope we make it.
Stand by for blastoff.
Hold her steady. Now.
Good shooting, Torres.
Starduster, this is Space Force One. Come in, please.
There they are.
Chris, switch me to the Space Force channel.
Space Force One. This is Starduster. Over.
Skipper, I've got him. Starduster, this is Space Force One. What's the trouble?
Space Force One, this is Starduster. I have a target for you.
There are 8 megatomic ray stations orbiting the small planet of Utopia. They must be knocked out.
Use caution. They can be activated at any time. Try to hit them simultaneously. I'll keep them occupied down below.
Roger, Starduster. We'll be in your area in 2 space units.
Here they come.
Chris, stand by to launch the Space Star. I'm going below.
Space Force One to all ships. Arm your rockets. Split and attack.
I'll take the one on the starboard.
Roger, Captain. Boy, these things really go off with a bang. Just like the 4th of July. Like shooting fish in a barrel.
craft are destroying our ray stations. Blast them with the surface rays.
Skipper, the ray station got 2 of our ships.
I'll get it. Blast off.
Scott dives down into the Utopia atmosphere to blast the ray station.
Watch out for that surface ray. I got it, Taurus.
Good work, Skipper.
All orbiting ray stations knocked out. Any further orders?
Move in and secure. And thanks, Space Force.
I don't know how to thank you for securing the freedom of our people.
It's our privilege. Freedom is one thing that's always worth fighting for. Make sure you never lose it again.
We won't, Scott. The freedom that you and your brave friends have won for us will never be lost.
Speaking of freedom, how about a leave, Skipper?
Yes, I need time to get my hair done.
To a woman, there's nothing more important than her hair.
And so ends the adventure of the Slave World. Don't miss the next exciting story of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Light Barrier. 25 years ago, a formation of Earth ships, much like this one, plied this same route in space on the first leg of an historic mission, the testing of revolutionary ion power. For causes unknown, the mission ended in failure, resulting in the loss of one of Earth's all-time great astronauts, Major Eddie Colfax. Now, a quarter of a century later, a new mission aims for the old objective, the testing of ion power, a crack at the light barrier. And fate, which handed the reins of the mission to an eager young scientist in the long ago, now picks the same man for the same task, Professor William Mace.
Penny for your thoughts, Father.
What? Oh, was I that obvious, honey?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I was just staring at Scott's back sitting there. I was thinking how much he looked like Eddie Colfax. 25 years ago. Oh, it's a crazy feeling, as if it were happening all over again. Just as before.
Oh, why do you torture yourself with the memory?
Well, that memory has served to remind me of my half of the bargain with Eddie. He died keeping his end of the deal. And if I have to work another 25 years to make that blooming ion engine work, I'll do it.
You won't have to, Father. It'll work. I know it will.
Right as rain, Professor. You'll break the light barrier with it.
It'll revolutionize space travel.
You'll be famous. Why, you... Sure. Do you think I give a hang for any of that? All I want is for the darn thing to work. Then maybe I'll know there's a reason for Eddie's going. Skipper, atmosphere coming up fast.
Right, Taurus. Strap in, gang. Starduster to Jupiter Control. Coming in with 3 chicks on Earth-Jupiter space lane. Please advise landing procedure.
Roger, Starduster. Activate automatic landing code 57 in 10 space units. Jupiter out.
Wilco, Jupiter. Hello, chicks. This is Mother Hen. Ready switchover to landing code 57. Jupiter orbital approach guidance control. Ready switchover.
3, 2, 1. Now.
Well, it won't be long now, Professor. Then your work really begins. Convincing the Space Council your engine is ready for test.
You believe it's ready, don't you, lad? And if you're up to the test, that's what matters most. We're up to it, Professor.
We sure are. We've learned a lot since Eddie Colfax made his test.
We're with you, Father, all the way.
Stand by to rotate.
25 years ago, the testing of scientific devices was carried on by planets individually. But certain devices were utilized by some for purposes of war and destruction. And so the major planets of the solar system formed a body called the Universal Space Council, which now controls all scientific devices of a potentially destructive nature.
I like this traveling sidewalk. Guess they know spacemen don't like walking.
Walking's not so easy on Jupiter. It has a heavy gravity.
You worried, Father?
Yes, I am. The Space Council may not approve these tests.
We'll soon know. The council meets in half an hour.
Universal Space Council headquarters are located on Jupiter. Here, the council meets in never-ending session. And here it is that Professor Mace must appeal for permission to test his ion engine.
It is with great pleasure that the chair now recognizes the distinguished scientist and delegate from Earth, Professor William Mace.
The Saturn delegation is obviously opposed to Professor Mace's test.
Scott, what's wrong?
Brace yourself, Chris.
For hours, Professor Mace lectures the council on the merit of his revolutionary ion engine.
Each molecule of propellant is electrically charged, ionized. This is done by passing the propellant over heated metal grids. Then it's possible to accelerate the charged ions to extremely high velocities through these nozzles by means of the electric field. The performance curves in all ranges of harness tests indicates values of specific impulse exceeding 30,000 seconds.
Mr. Chairman. The chair recognizes the delegate from Saturn.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the council reject Professor Mace's request for permission to conduct ion propulsion tests.
For reason that the projected tests lack certain safety precautions, and if successful, could result in a potentially destructive device.
I second the motion.
Scott, this will kill Father. It isn't fair.
The motion has been made and seconded.
Mr. Chairman, I am Professor Mace's daughter, sir. On Earth, we have a game called baseball. That ball in the hands of a bad pitcher is also a potentially destructive device. My father worked hard on his engine for 25 years, and I'd hate like the dickens to think it wasn't safe because I'm one of the test crew.
Scott, she was never going on the test.
She is now. Well, Chris, I think you turned the trick.
That should be Father now.
How'd we do, sir?
We did it. Here's our authorization to proceed with Project Ion Engine.
Oh, wonderful.
Great.
What did they do? Supreme Council said okay to the whole shooting match. Okayed the test plan, the crew. Even agreed to pick up the tab when Earth gets around to making him a bill.
Then we're ready to roll.
Only one condition. Council wants us to use complex score for a launching station.
That's way out in Pluto's orbit.
Guess they don't want us near any of the inhabited planets.
Just in case anything goes wrong.
I'm so happy for you, Father.
We've got our chance, and we must not fail.
Don't worry, Father. This time it will work.
It has to, Chris. It has to.
Prepare our ships for blastoff.
Clear the area for blastoff. Ready, 1 and 2. Ready, number 3. Blast off. Ready, number 5. Blast off.
Starduster to complex score. We're approaching you on Jupiter space lane.
Roger, Starduster. We're tracking your group. You're now on target.
Roger, score. Starduster out.
that's going to break the light barrier. What happens when you reach the speed of light? You become light, I guess. Then what?
Nobody knows yet. Eddie Colfax never came back.
Taurus, do you have a visual on the complex yet?
Aye, Skipper. She's coming up fast.
Range is 1,200 astroleagues, Scott.
Switch on the forward view scope.
Starduster to complex score. We're approaching on Jupiter space lane.
Roger, Starduster. Been expecting you. Switch to automatic landing control. Channel 2-3.
Roger, Control. You get that, chicks?
Roger, Starduster. Switching to remote control channel 2-3. There she is.
It won't be long now, Father.
There's a lot of work to do yet, honey.
Stand by for tube landing.
Correct angle of approach up 2 degrees. Very good, Starduster, on target.
We've landed your freighters in tubes 3, 4, and 5. Tube 1 is set up for assembly. It's an honor to be of service to you, sir. My crew, as well as myself, is at your disposal.
Thank you, Commander. The more help we can get, the sooner we can prove the capability of the ion rocket.
As I understand it, Professor, your ion engine will actually produce its own fuel.
Aye, and it's capable of exceeding the speed of light. That we are not going to attempt.
At least not on this trip.
Well, gang, let's get to work.
And so the work begins. The component parts that were brought in the freighters start coming together in the assembly tube, and the great ship begins to take shape. Professor Mace and Scott check each step of assembly. Every part, every circuit is gone over again and again. Knowing the importance of this test, the highly skilled technicians work tirelessly, relentlessly performing the jobs in which they have been trained and rehearsed for so many months. Hour after hour, Scott, Taurus, and Crystal study the control systems and procedures. Environment systems are checked and rechecked. Finally, the great ion engine is installed, and the ship is complete, ready for its journey into unknown outer space at speeds never before attained by men or machines.
I've said it 1,000 times, Scott, but I'll say it once more. Do not exceed the speed of light. We're not ready yet. We don't know what will happen beyond.
We'll remember, Professor.
Funny. I remember telling that to Eddie Colfax 25 years ago.
Don't worry, sir. We'll follow your instructions to the letter.
Yes, Father. And this test will be successful. I just know it will.
Aye, and we all want to be here for the celebration. Chris, honey, bless you.
Father.
All aboard, crew.
Clear the tube for blast off.
All set here. Reactors go.
Umbilical go.
Cabin pressure go.
Tube doors open. Ready and counting. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Trajectory angle go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
First stage away. Jettison the ion shielding.
A perfect launch.
Good luck, kids. Heaven bless you.
Extending ion engine. Engine temperature and speed reading.
Speed, 0.3 and rising.
Engine temperature, 2,700 and rising.
More power, Taurus.
Speed, 0.5 and rising.
What do you read, Taurus?
Ion generator is operative. You have power.
Acceleration is steady.
Okay. Cutting in ion power. Hang on.
So far, so good.
Speed, 0.4. Scott, that's 81,000 miles per second.
Let's try a little more. Watch the road ahead, Taurus.
0.5. 5 and rising fast. Scott, what happens if we have to turn?
At this speed, we can't turn.
Meteorite collision course.
What the?
What happened?
We hit it. I swear we hit it.
We didn't just hit it. We vaporized it. Check instruments for any sign of damage.
I'll go here.
Same here. No damage to the outer hull.
It didn't touch us. Our leading force wave powdered it.
Just the same, I wish you'd watch where you're going.
If it'd been much bigger, it would have powdered us.
I saw it coming about 20,000 miles off. That would give you about a half a second to get out of the way. You're just getting slow.
Advancing to 3/4 power. Advancing to full.
Speed 0.8 and increasing.
They're fading out.
They're traveling almost as fast as our radar signal. They're approaching the speed of light. Back off, Scott. Back off!
0.9 and rising. Scott, back off. We're reaching the speed of light.
Roger. Power off. Our momentum is carrying us. Hold on. No telling.
Everything's fuzzy.
What's happening to us?
Retro rockets. Oh, what an experience. We actually reached the speed of light.
That's what I'd call a successful test.
Professor Mace will be mighty proud.
I can't wait to see Dad's face.
We'll slow to 10,000 MPS before turning.
Scott, hold your course. I've got a fix on something. I think it's a spacecraft.
I'll retract the crab net. Reverse your G-seats. We'll be braking fast.
Net in.
Okay, firing braking rockets.
Another ship.
There's never been a ship out this far before, from our galaxy.
Except one. Eddie Colfax made the first test run in this area. Firing retro rockets. Taurus, what's the distance of that other craft now?
About 5,000 astroleagues, Skipper, on a parallel course.
Its speed is about 10,000 MPS, Scott.
We'll set the guidance control to match his speed.
Easy does it. Coming up fast on port side. The design looks familiar, Skipper.
You're right, Taurus. But it's an old-timer. I'd better go check it out.
There's no design allowance for propellant.
Only ion rockets don't need propellant, and ours is the first. Except for...
Just stand by. This shouldn't take long.
If you run into any trouble, Skipper, let us know.
Don't worry, Taurus. I'll keep in touch.
Do you suppose there's anyone inside?
I don't know, lass, but we'll soon find out.
Oh, no, it can't be. The pilot is seated at the controls. There's no pressure inside, but he's wearing a space helmet.
Is he alive?
I'm going in and see.
Oh, this is awful. He must have been out there a long time.
Emergency door open. I'm going in now.
Is he?
He's alive. I'm bringing him out. Give me a hand. Chris, break out the oxygen.
He's in a coma. Eddie Colfax? It just isn't possible.
Possible or not, here he is, alive.
And the same age as when he launched 25 years ago.
He and Dad were about the same age then. About 30. But how, Scott? How?
I guess the coma. Like hibernation. But don't ask me to explain Einstein's theory of time and relativity.
I guess your dad's first ion engine was good, too.
Colfax must have approached the speed of light to reach this space void.
He's coming around.
This must be the place. You're an angel. What happened?
You'd never believe it.
That's right. Eddie Colfax. Meet Crystal Mace.
The professor's daughter. She wasn't around when you made your flight.
Well, what do you mean?
Crystal will have plenty of time to fill you in on the way home.
Let's get this baby turned around, Taurus.
Professor, we've got them. They're coming back.
Thank heavens they're safe. Let's get down to the tube and meet them. I hope they're all right. Scott, Chris, bless you. The engine worked.
Both of them worked, Professor. Ours and Eddie's.
Hi, Bill.
Eddie Colfax. I can't believe it.
Takes a bit of getting used to.
This test has proved more than the capability of your ion engine, Professor.
Eddie's 25 years in space will prove a lot of theories on time and relativity.
Well, come on, everybody. We've got some celebrating to do.
Don't miss the next exciting adventure with Taurus, Crystal, and Scott McCloud. Space Angels.
Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Gladiators.
Evening Star calling Starduster. Starduster, come in, please. Scott, if you can hear me, please come in.
This is Starduster. What's the excitement, Professor? Over.
You know that asteroid Crystal discovered in Vector 5?
Yeah, what about it?
Scott, get this. That little gem contains over 80% beryllium.
What's the mass, Professor?
It's 1/2 of Earth's moon.
Holy cats, what a find.
It's important that we get to the asteroid before an outsider discovers this information. It's up to you, Scott.
We're on our way, Professor. Out here.
I feel like a lucky prospector.
Oh, we've got company.
What is it, Taurus?
Another ship headed toward our asteroid.
Looks like we have a race. Hang on. Taurus, turn on the forward view scope.
Aye, Skipper.
I don't recognize the ship.
It's not from our solar system.
Athenians. No question about it.
Think we can beat them?
We'll sure try. Stand by for landing.
Aye, Skipper. Reading, Crystal.
0.4 gravity.
Stand by. Firing retro rockets. steady now. The hatch is opening.
Look, Scott. There's the Anthenian.
Creatures from Earth, you are helpless. We have a protective beam surrounding you and your ship.
But why? We were here first. The intergalaxy law determines that this is our asteroid by right of first touchdown.
Laws. Anthenians have their own laws. And by the right of possession, this asteroid is ours.
This matter must be arbitrated before the Interplanetary Space Council.
We will settle this before the Anthenian Space Advisors. They will know what to do.
A force ray.
I can't move.
Fools! To think you can outwit an Anthenian. The girl must come with me. Leave the lass alone, you monkey.
If I could move,
I could reach my disintegrator.
Why are you taking the girl? She can't help you.
To make sure you follow us to Anthenia.
Skipper, we can't leave Crystal.
I know. They've got the upper hand at the moment. Good. He's turned off the force ray. We'll have to follow them, Taurus.
Aye, Skipper. And if they harm that lass, they'll be sorry they ever saw this day. Should we notify the Space Council?
Not while they have Crystal. No, we'll have to play by their rules for now.
Well, it won't be long now. There's our destination.
Taurus. This isn't going to be easy.
Careful, Skipper. You're only allowed one mistake. Phew! We made it, Skipper. I'm sure glad that's over.
Me too. That belt of asteroids is what makes the Anthenians so arrogant. It's the finest defense barrier in this galaxy.
Aye, Skipper. And there's their main planet straight ahead.
Stand by for landing. We're entering atmosphere. Intergalaxy law, the first ship to touch down on an asteroid may claim it.
Here, we make the law, and there's but one way to settle the dispute. War.
War! War!
What kind of war?
You will meet our gladiators in our fighting machines.
Well, now, we always enjoy a good fight.
You will have a good fight, Earthling, against our champions.
You will have the privilege of fighting 3 wars.
If you win 2 of the 3, the beryllium asteroid is yours.
And if we lose?
To lose is to die.
This meeting is adjourned to the arena. The first war will be fought with cannon mobiles.
I presume I'll have time to practice the operation of this toy.
You will get plenty of practice when the war begins.
Real sports, these Anthenians. You will find Zarko, your opponent, to be a wonderful teacher.
He has won 100 such wars. And now, you will mount your machine.
The first war is to be fought until one of you is unable to continue.
Scott, be careful.
Keep your guard up, Skipper. The gladiators will take their place on the battle lines at either end of the arena. Let the war begin.
Good afternoon, fellow citizens. In the blue chariot is Zokar, champion of Anthenia, victorious in over 100 wars. Zokar, representative of the greatest culture in the universe, the supreme planet Anthenia. Now entering the arena, the red chariot carrying the earthling Scott McCloud. This will indeed be a glorious day for Anthenia. Once again, we shall prove the superior might of our planet through the efforts of Zokar. Zokar maneuvers into position. He prepares his battle attack. There goes Zokar! Obviously warming up his cannon citizens. No cause for alarm. I've seen him do this 100 times. Again, Zokar maneuvers for position. The Earthling obviously has weak eyes. Watch the Earthling, Zokar. He appears tricky. Observe, citizens of Anthenia, the Earthling's puny efforts at battle.
Crystal, do you think you can make it to the Starduster without being seen?
I can try.
Then get going. Call the Space Council and see if we can get some help out here.
Right, Taurus. See you later.
Zokar is playing Catonic and Dingo with him. Stop playing with the poor Earth creature, Zokar. You're beginning to frighten him. Put him out of his misery. Zokar fires. The Earthling is hit.
Stay with him, Skipper. Well, Earthling, what can we do for you?
Zokar has scored the first blow. That's it. Run, Earthling. After him, Zokar. Catch the miserable insect and crush him.
Uh-oh. No guns.
Stubborn. Already he has lost his weapons. We haven't lost yet. You watch. Merely a question of time. Oh!
Sorry, Taurus, I didn't make it.
Where did you find her? She was attempting to communicate with her galaxy. Good work, Kolzar. Keep them both under guard.
Now pay close attention. Our glorious champion now closes for the kill. Now Zokar. Now for Anthenia. Now for victory.
Merciful heavens!
Get up, lad. Get up.
Scott. Oh, Scott.
Our gladiator is still standing. It would appear that we have been victorious in the first war.
Is he...
Just unconscious, Chris. I'll take him. Since you are unable to continue the war, I hereby claim victory and the beryllium asteroid for Anthenia and her planets. Hold on now. Who says we're unable to continue? But look at your man. He is unconscious. I challenge for the right to fight the next war.
You? Very well. So shall it be.
Prepare the next two gladiators for combat. If I may make a suggestion, continue. Let's dispense with the toys. I wish to fight without weapons. We'll use our bare hands.
You may not have the advantage of your strength,
However, you may have your choice of weapons.
The Earthling will have his choice of weapons. The double-headed poleaxe, the mobile spear tank cannon mobile, the shield and disintegrator robot, the atomic crossbow carrier, the mobile mace, and the paralyzer.
I choose the mace. That's more like it. Agreed. Take your friend to the ready room and prepare yourself for combat. How you feeling, lad?
Oh, my head. What happened?
You rammed the black robot.
You did well, lad. But I'm afraid we lost the bout.
Taurus, what about the next war? We haven't lost yet.
Taurus is going to fight the next war with mace and shield.
Aye, this is one party I wouldn't miss for anything.
I should be fighting.
No, lad. You're in no condition.
Warriors, man your machines.
Okay, old bull. Go get him.
The gladiators will take their positions on the starting lines. This contest will be a fight to the finish. The war will be over only when one of the gladiators is unable to continue. Be ready. The battle will begin at the signal from the leader.
Let the war begin.
Once again, Zokar must vanquish an Earthling. Now that he is warmed up, this should prove to be a simple task. The mace is most effective for close fighting. Make it quick, Zokar.
Scott, I'm frightened.
Don't worry, Chris. Taurus didn't come by his name accidentally. Watch him.
Watch how quickly Zokar finds the range. This is it, citizens. Hold on to your helmets. Zokar will now make his move. Observe, citizens, how Zokar feints the Earthling out of position.
Oh, Scott, this is brutal.
I think Taurus could handle it. They're turning around.
The last three battles fought with the mobile mace found Zokar an angry, vicious gladiator. This afternoon, he is the same. Watch, citizens, as our wonderful hero approaches for the slaughter. Goodbye, foolish Earthling. Take him, Zokar, now!
Taurus! He's been hit!
No, he's okay, Chris. Just lost his windshield.
The Earthling has lost his protective head guard. Just one more blow, Zokar!
Look out, you fool.
Get him, Zokar! Get him!
He did it, Scott. Taurus won.
The war is over. The White Gladiator is victorious.
We won this round, all right. I wonder what they have in store for us next.
This round is yours, but for the last and final round, we will have the choice of weapons. Disintegrating rays.
The next and final war will be fought with disintegrating rays and reflective shields. For the protection of spectators, the ray guns have a range of only 30 yards. The participants are restricted to the center section of the arena.
Disintegrators? They don't kid around, do they?
What strange-looking machines. What's the mirror for?
The mirror's for deflecting the disintegrator ray.
The control mechanism looks simple enough. I shouldn't have any trouble operating it.
No, Taurus. I'll take this bout. I've got an idea.
If those mirrors can deflect the rays, I can see where they can be as lethal as the blasters.
If I can just get my opponent in close enough.
But if I should lose, you'll have to look after Crystal, Taurus.
The contestants will take their places in the fighting machines.
This is the deciding war. It is to be fought to the death. There is to be no compromise. Do you understand?
I understand.
Agreed.
That's unfair. He's wearing a reflective suit.
I'm afraid we're still playing by their rules. Take your positions on the battle line.
The contestants are in position. Begin the war. Zokar lowers his ray gun and fires what appears to be a simple test shot, merely sampling the Earth creature's courage. The Earthling is obviously afraid as he refuses to return Zokar's powerful rays.
Taurus, why doesn't Scott use his blaster?
He has to get the hang of the controls first, lass. Now watch this.
Oh, that was a low shot, easily deflected by Zokar.
Atta boy, lad. Now go get him.
Taurus, did you see that? He did that on purpose. He deliberately held out his ray gun and let it be blasted away.
That's right. And whatever plan he has in mind, I hope it works.
Taurus, look!
Watch it, lad! Watch it!
He did it! He won!
Good work, Skipper. Silence. The cheers of my people testify you have conducted yourself with valor. The wars are over. You have won the prize. The beryllium asteroid is yours.
Thank you. And so long as you've lived up to your agreement, and if you join the Interplanetary Space Council, I'll see to it that your planet gets its share of the processed beryllium.
I've been worried about you.
We stopped off at Danthinia for a little sport.
Sport?
Sport, he calls it.
We're returning to base now, Professor. We'll fill you in when we get there. Starduster out.
And so ends the story of The Gladiators. Don't miss the next exciting adventure of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of Expedition to a New Moon. We find Taurus, Crystal, Scott, and Professor Mace aboard the Evening Star, discussing plans for colonizing a new moon.
But, Father, what's so unusual about a new moon?
This moon resembles our Earth so much, we think it may have an atmosphere.
And if it has an atmosphere, it can be colonized.
Aye, we can use a little more productive land in this solar system. Precisely why you're going there, Taurus. We need a complete survey.
Then we'll have to make a geological survey as well.
Right. Your ship is outfitted with all the necessary equipment. Of course, Chris. We'll be taking the new survey ship. Scott, have you had a chance to look over the new ship since your return?
Not yet, Professor. We better go down and check it out now.
Good. It's being outfitted in Tube 3. The Chief expects you to blast off at 6:03 a.m. Earth time. Aye, we're no sooner than get back to home base, and here we go again.
Now, Taurus. Father has just explained that the target is approaching orbital position for blastoff.
Otherwise, we'll have to delay the project for another year.
Notify the Chief. We'll make the deadline, Professor.
Come on, gang. Let's get going.
You and Taurus tested the surveyor, didn't you, Scott?
Yes, Crystal. But the instrumentation wasn't complete at the time. We still have a lot of equipment to check out. There she is. That's going to be our home for a while. How do you like the Surveyor, Chris?
It's a beautiful ship.
It's probably the most completely equipped survey ship ever built, with all the equipment necessary to do a geological survey. The control section can be ejected and act as a landing sphere.
I'd feel more at home in the Starduster. This ship is too slow.
Taurus, this is a survey mission, not a space race.
There goes our moonmobile aboard.
built to travel over any kind of terrain. It's going to come in real handy.
Aye, Skipper. I'm glad they remembered spacemen are allergic to walking. Ha ha ha!
Okay, gang, let's get aboard and check this baby out.
Got to be ready for blast-off at 0600 in the morning.
Now hear this. Clear the tube for blast-off.
Reactors, go.
Umbilical, go.
Cabin pressure, go.
Tube doors opening. Ready and counting. 10, 9.
Angle of blastoff 320, vector 4.
Correcting angle. Trajectory angle, go.
Increasing power. OS 3, 2, 1, 0.
Trajectory good, approaching target velocity.
Count it.
Roger. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shut off. A-OK, we're in free flight.
Oh, this baby's got a kick like a mule.
What's the matter, Torres? Can't you take it anymore?
There's more pounds of me to be pressed than there is of you, lass.
That's for sure.
Check the course, Chris.
Right on target, Scott. 2 points off the twin star mirror.
Right. And our flight plan velocity should get us there in 12 space periods.
So we may as well relax and enjoy the scenery.
Except for one thing, Taurus. We'll be getting into an uncharted area.
Turn on your forward viewer and keep a sharp lookout.
Okay, Skipper.
Where will this new assignment into uncharted areas take Crystal, Scott, and Torres? Be sure and see the next exciting episode of Space Angel.
Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of
Expedition to a New Moon. Remember last time, Scott, Torres, and Crystal were instructed to board a new survey ship and venture into an uncharted area where they were to explore a new moon. The survey ship is now approaching its destination, where they must land and prepare for their expedition.
There it is. Take a look on your viewer.
Mirror, the red giant. Look at the size of those suns, Skipper.
If we took our solar system and placed our sun in the middle of that red star, Mars would barely touch the surface.
That's big.
Scott, center focus 20 degrees east and south. There's our moon.
She's sure coming up fast, Skipper.
Yes, we're intercepting its orbit head on. Prepare to reduce speed.
Aye, Skipper. DX tubes ready for firing, sir.
Give us a gravity count, Chris.
0.1, 0.2, 3, 4, 5.
Deflect 2 degrees out. Fire 3.
Stand by. I'm placing this baby into orbit.
We're in orbit, Scott.
Horace, prepare the landing sphere.
Aye, Skipper.
We're going to take a trip downstairs.
There doesn't appear to be any atmosphere, Scott.
We'll soon find out, Chris.
We're sure not going to go without our space helmets.
hate to mention it, Skipper, but who's going to watch the store?
We can control the surveyor by remote control. When we land, we'll set up a station. That'll be our home base for a while. We'll land this big baby after we prepare a pad.
Just thought I'd ask.
80,000 feet and dropping fast.
Stand by retro rockets, Taurus.
Aye, lad.
This is strange, Scott. The gravity indicator keeps switching. Now it's negative. There it goes again.
Reading.
Well, now it's just about double Earth's gravity.
So how do you make a landing, Skipper? We may begin hopping like a jackrabbit in another minute.
40,000.
Fire retros. Must be gravity strips. Let's pick one and try it.
Aye, Skipper.
Scott! We're falling!
Pretty fast, Skipper. Good work, Skipper. That landing was much softer than I expected.
I share your sentiments. Now let's roll at the moon buggy and see what the climate's like outside. What's the oxygen indicator suggest, Taurus?
There's an atmosphere, lad, but we can't breathe it.
But if there's air...
It's frozen. See that funny-looking iceberg? There's your atmosphere.
That might just explain the crazy gravity on this moon.
How do you mean, Skipper?
At double Earth's gravity, the air must have been pulled down and formed into these glaciers. Notice how they appear in rows?
Well, now that you mention it...
Stand by. Something's pulling us over.
Trapped in their moonmobile on a strange new moon. What will happen to Scott, Crystal, and Taurus? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel.
Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of
Expedition to a New Moon. You remember last time, Scott, Taurus, and Crystal blasted off in a specially built survey ship to explore a newly discovered moon. They left the main body of the ship in suspended orbital flight and landed on the planet in the control sphere. Embarking from the sphere in their specially equipped moonmobile, they started their survey of the new moon. While exploring, they discovered that the gravity on this planet was in strips. As they neared one of these gravity strips, a strange force grasped the ship. Even with power and throttle full forward, they were pulled slowly but steadily backward into the gravity strip.
All right?
I can't seem to move, Skipper. I feel so heavy.
It's hard to breathe, Scott.
We're caught in one of those gravity belts. If I can activate this engine again.
What's wrong, lad?
I can't reach it.
I think I can make it.
You're a bull.
I felt so heavy I couldn't even blink my eyes.
Clean living, Skipper.
Before we do much traveling, I suggest we set up our lunar station and land the Surveyor.
Good idea, lad. This place is not too friendly, and I'd feel better if we had a home base to run to.
Taurus, you roll out the shelter dome while I find a good spot to set her up.
Okay, Skipper.
We better hurry, Scott. We haven't much daylight left.
You're right. Inside that creeping shadow, it's cold enough to freeze the atmosphere.
Where do you want it, Skipper?
Over there, Taurus.
Here she comes. Good catch, Skipper.
Okay. Everybody stand back.
Watch closely, lass, and you'll see how a king-sized igloo is hatched.
That should give us ample living quarters. Now let's attach the landing sphere and set up housekeeping. Well, now to test the equipment.
Go ahead, Skipper.
Everything seems to be in order. Let's see if we can pick up the Surveyor. There. That should be it. Check it on the screen. Yep, that's her, all right.
She's holding a stable orbit. We'll bring her down in the morning, eh, Skipper?
Yes, but first we'll have to build a hard pad to land her on. Whoa. Lucky for us, we're not out there. The temperature's dropping 10 degrees a second.
Look out there. Did you ever see such a sight?
Aye, but we're as snug as bugs in here. And 'tis a beautiful sight to see.
Hey! What? Scott! What's that?
Those are rocks exploding from sudden change in temperature.
Suffering Jupiter. This is something we didn't plan for.
Scott, we're losing air.
We've been hit. Our shielding's punctured.
Their lunar station losing air after being punctured by exploding rocks. How will Scott, Crystal, and Taurus be able to get out alive?
Don't miss the next exciting episode of Scott McCloud, Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of
Expedition to a New Moon. Remember last time, having had a narrow escape from death by falling over the cliff, Taurus got the Moonmobile going again so they could get back to setting up their lunar station. Having set it up and checked to see if the Surveyor was holding a stable orbit, Mira, the red giant, started a series of explosions. Rocks punctured their lunar house, and it started to collapse from lack of pressure.
Quick, Taurus. Flip on our auxiliary compressor.
Aye, Skipper.
Give us the pressure reading, Chris.
8.5 pounds and dropping.
Pressure suits, lad?
No time. We'll never make it.
Pressure at 6.3, Scott.
This is it, Skipper?
Now what's the reading, Crystal?
It's still holding at 6.3 pounds.
I don't get it.
Pressure at 8.5 pounds and rising.
Ever hear of an old-fashioned self-sealing inner tube, Taurus?
Well, if that isn't the blasted... Of course. This station's nothing but a flat inner tube. I'll be darned.
Of course, if we'd been hit by a really large fragment, I wouldn't have been so confident.
You dog. You could have told us. I was frantic.
How about you getting your father on the televiewer, Chris? He'll want to know what we found on this moon.
Yes, sir. Right away. Yes, Dad. And the atmosphere is frozen in strips.
Frozen atmosphere, eh? Scott, what happens when ice is heated?
It melts, then turns to steam, Professor.
Exactly. Now listen and listen carefully. You are going to try a little experiment.
Go ahead, Professor.
Basically, what we are going to attempt is utilize kinetic energy derived from the various gravity belts on your moon. This friction shall generate a continuous heat.
But, Professor, wouldn't that create a flood condition?
Possibly, if the heat generated were not hot enough. To ensure against this possibility, you are going to plant a thermonuclear activator within the depths of the moon.
Zowie.
All clear, Scott?
I've got you, Professor. We'll contact you later. Over.
Good luck. Out.
Well, let's get busy.
Following Professor Mace's instruction, they planted the magnetic electrodes at strategic points between the gravity belts.
How far from the next gravity belt, Taurus?
Almost there, Skipper. Okay, slow down. There it is. That should do it, lad. We've planted almost 200 of these magnetic electrodes.
All right, back to the station. This next step is a doozy.
I don't mind telling you, Skipper, I was scared silly when we planted that thermonuclear activator. What if it had gone off?
Nothing could happen unless we trigger it. And that doesn't occur until we're a safe distance out in space.
Then our job here is about finished, eh, Skipper?
As soon as I check our circuits, we'll bring our ship out of orbit and blast off.
Good. I'll prepare the landing pad while you're doing that.
Good grief.
Pistol?
It's the surveyor. Something's wrong. Look.
Why, it's being pulled out of orbit.
Look. It's falling towards the twin sun.
Another moment, and their surveyor rocket will burn up in the atmosphere of the twin suns. Then, how will they ever get back? Be sure to see the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of Expedition to a New Moon. Remember last time, having talked to Professor Mace, Scott, Taurus, and Crystal were on their way to plant thermonuclear activators within the depths of the moon Mira. Having planted over 200 electrodes, which would not be triggered until they were out in space, they left for the surveyor rocket, only to find Mira's magnetic field pulling it out of orbit.
Quick, Taurus. Activate remote controls on the surveyor.
Aye, Skipper. Activated. Engines on.
Facing Mira suns, Taurus.
Maybe we can blast her out.
Pressure up, lad. Fire when ready.
Stand by.
I could feel the heat from here.
I'm changing the orbit path. The surveyor will circle over us now.
Like orbiting the North Pole on Earth, eh, lad?
In a way. All set, gang?
Set.
Go ahead, lad.
Switching to ILS, Chris.
She's on the beam, Scott.
Okay, Taurus, looks good. Extend landing legs.
Roger, Skipper.
There she is, gang. Perfect touchdown. Good work.
I, for one, am sure glad to see that baby.
Okay, let's get out of here.
What about the shelter, Scott?
Leave it. There's no time to dismantle. Take a look back there.
Aye, lass, you wouldn't want to spend another night here, would you?
Reading.
She's not clear yet, Skipper. She's still struggling through the scrambled gravity belts.
As soon as we're clear, we'll change all that.
She's clear.
Flame out.
She's in free fall.
First, we'll activate the electrodes we planted back there. Get set, everybody. Here goes. From here, we've got a grandstand seat.
How much longer, Skipper?
Just a couple of seconds now.
It's working. Father was right.
A beautiful sight. An Earth being born right before our eyes.
This is fantastic. Look at that.
What a spot for an asparagus ranch. That has to be the place.
It looks like Earth in its formative stage.
Just think. In a few hundred years, there'll be cities down there. People working, a whole new life taking shape.
Aye, Skipper. But I sure hope we get back down there before then.
Why, Torres?
Oh, soon those trout streams are going to be jumping, and I sure would like to do some fishing before those Sunday picnickers start to clutter them up. And so ends another exciting adventure with Scott McCloud, Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of Incident of the Loud Planet. Our story opens at Earth Control on a routine day. The dispatchers are about to okay a Venus Junction space freighter launch.
Venus Junction, this is Earth Control, over.
Earth Control, this is Venus Junction. Go ahead.
Here's your party, Chief.
Space Freighter 005, this is Earth Control. Request granted. Launch your cargo capsule on orbit 2.76.
Earth Control, this is Space Freighter 005. Roger. Releasing cargo on orbit 2.76. Over.
Hey, what's this? Oh, no, it couldn't be. Master Control, this is Station 7. Alert! This is Master Control. What's wrong, Bill? I'm recording red alert in Sector 045. Over. Station 7, red alert. Sector 045. Roger. Hang on, Bill. This is Master Control. Put me through to the Chief. This is an emergency.
Come in, Earth Control. What's up?
Disturbance in Sector 045, Chief. Source unidentified. It's jamming communications.
Check all stations and verify. And move, man.
Check. All stations, stand by for fix on unidentified signal and report.
Roger, Master Control.
Johnny, you haven't touched a bite of your lunch yet. How long do you think you could keep this up without making yourself sick? You've got to eat. I'll eat, Mom. I'm just not hungry yet. Oh, dear. I'm okay, Mom. Just leave me alone, please. No, Johnny, I won't. It's high time we put a stop to this. I've put up with this beep, beep, beep of your equipment every day for 3 years now while you've searched the skies for your father.
Johnny, it's no use. He's gone. He's not coming back.
He is, too. I'm gonna find him if it takes all my life.
Don't stop me, Mom. Someday I'm gonna find that wild planet. It has to come back. It has to. Oh, Johnny, dear, it's just no use. Oh, how I've prayed that... Mom! Mom, that's it! I found it! Look, it's the wild planet! We found Dad! Oh, Johnny, do something!
Yahoo! You know it!
I'll peek the game. Hit the bearing computer and recorder. And now what? That's it! In a minute we'll know the position and speed of the planet Sonics, and Earth Space Control can send searchers after it. I did it, Mom! I did it! I produced an element that can't be found any place on Earth.
But, Chief, we put the data through the analyzer, and it's unable to locate the source.
Put me through to the Starduster. It's operating in that area. Maybe we can get some missing data from the Space Angel.
Okay, Chief. Stand by.
Urgent signal from Master Control, Scott. It must be the Chief.
Right, Crystal.
Master Control, this is the Starduster. Go ahead, Chief.
Scott, there's a strange signal coming from the direction of your patrol area. Have you seen anything?
Sure have, Chief. And our wave detector registers sonite. And it's getting stronger.
Sonite? Are you sure?
Afraid so, Chief. We haven't had a blast yet.
Here it comes!
Scott, are you all right?
So far, Chief, but...
Hey, Skipper! Our automatic guidance system is knocked out.
We're coming apart at the seams.
She's out of control.
Where can the mysterious sonite signal be coming from? Will the space dart be able to escape its force? Be sure and see the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of Incident of the Loud Planet. Remember last time, Johnny transmitted a signal into space and was receiving an answer when Scott and his crew were suddenly thrown out of control by a mysterious sonite signal.
Scott, we're spinning! But what's happening, Scott?
When we blasted into that sonite belt, it threw us out of control.
And when I chopped off the power, the sonite waves took over and are pulling us along in their wake.
Now we're churning along with it like a chip of wood on a gigantic wave. Eh, Skipper?
But how do we get out of this?
Just hang on to your hats. It's going to be quite a jolt.
Better strap yourselves in now. This is it.
Right, Skipper. All okay here, me lad. Let her rip.
I'm going to pour on all the coal she can take and blast free.
We hope. That felt like an elephant was standing on my middle. That's enough of that for one day.
Taurus, you're just getting old.
Earth Control. Earth Control, this is Starduster. Over.
Starduster, this is Earth Control. Go ahead.
Earth Control, this is Starduster. Clear pad for landing. Priority 1.
Roger, Starduster. I'll notify the Chief. Take pad 3.
Chief, this is Master Control. Space Angel just landed in the Starduster.
Splendid, Master Control. Send the Space Angel right in.
Yes, sir. And call Dr. Mace for an immediate conference.
Dr. Mace. Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
My viewer was knocked out and never did get a glimpse of the asteroid.
The sonite wave at that point was 2 space units across, Professor Mace.
From that angle, I would say the sonite waves must have been transmitted from Earth. The sonite asteroid only magnified them and bounced them back.
Then sonite transmission could knock out any spacecraft that got into the path of its transmission?
Not the path of transmission, Scott. It's the bounce-back wave from the greater source of sonite that is dangerous.
That's why we've got to find out who, when, where, what is broadcasting this thing. We're running the recorded data through now. We'll know exactly where it's coming from in a minute. Come in.
Pardon me, Chief. There's a young boy out here who says he's been broadcasting sonite. I thought you'd like to talk to him.
Would I? I'll say I would. Send him in here.
Your computer pinpoints the sonite transmission in the 1200 block on Pine Street, right here in the city.
And where do you live, young man?
1240 Pine Street, sir.
Young man, don't you know that transmitting sonite is against the law?
Yes, sir, but...
Do you know you almost killed the Space Angel?
Now, Chief, don't be so tough on him.
It was the only way to locate the wild planet Sonex through harmonic response. And my dad was lost on it over 3 years ago, and I found it. I have the computer tape, and...
Wait a minute. Slow down.
The boy makes sense. The planet Sonex was in this area 3 years ago. And Professor Kendall, who went out to survey it, has never returned.
Scott, this looks like a job for the Space Angel.
Oh, boy, the Space Angel.
Roger, Chief. I'll notify the Space Angel to have the Starduster ready for blastoff first thing in the morning.
Will Scott find the planet Sonex? Can Professor Kendall still be alive? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of Incident of the Loud Planet. Remember last time, Johnny was picked up by the Space Control for transmitting sonite, which was interfering with space travel lanes. Johnny pointed out that he believes through harmonic response, he's discovered the missing planet Sonex. The chief then ordered Scott to blast off and go in search of the wild planet Sonex, on which Johnny's dad has been lost.
Scott, is the Starduster all ready to blast off on schedule?
Ready, willing, and able, sir. Crystal's helping Professor Mace check out our new tracking gear, and Taurus is directing the loading of supplies.
Where's the Space Angel? Can I meet the Space Angel?
No, Johnny, he's already on board. I'll see if I can't get you two together when we get back.
You're going along too, huh, Mr. Scott?
You bet, Johnny. I'll be tagging along.
Then will you tell him I know he can find my dad? I'm counting on the Space Angel.
I'm sure the Space Angel will do his very best, Johnny.
Thank you, Mr. Scott, sir. Okay if I go down and look over the Starduster?
Sure, Johnny. Go ahead.
Launching crew, report to platform 3. Launching crew.
That kid's sharp, Scott. Could be he'll catch on that you're the Space Angel.
I know, Chief. I'd better get aboard before he returns and fires more questions at me.
Okay, Scott. Good luck, and stay in close contact, my friend.
Right, Chief. All set, kids? Ready when you are.
Okay here, Skipper.
A-okay, Scott.
Space Control. Space Control. This is Starduster. Ready for countdown. Over.
Roger, Starduster. Ready for countdown.
Clear launching Station 3 of all equipment and personnel. Emergency vehicles, stand by. 8, 7...
Atomic engine activator.
Atomic engine activator, go.
6, 5...
Trajectory angle.
4, 3...
3.05, go.
2, 1, 0... Liftoff.
free of Earth's gravity, I'll switch over to our own gyrogravity equalizer.
Roger, Taurus.
Trajectory looks very good, Scott.
Roger, Crystal. We're in free flight. How's the new Sonite tracking equipment working, Chris?
All okay. I'm just checking the present position of the Sonite asteroid.
Hey, Taurus.
Yes, Skipper?
My radiation indicator isn't working. Better go aft and check the shielding.
Aye, Skipper, right away. Probably a resistor out. What the? Well, I'll be.
What the?
Here. Hey, Skipper, I found a mouse in the machinery.
Johnny Kendall. What are you doing here?
I sneaked aboard while they were loading the Sonite tracking equipment. How on earth did you survive the blast-off? I strapped myself to the computer rack.
That's why your indicator wasn't working, Skipper.
Hey, where's the Space Angel? Well,
You see, lad, he's,
Johnny, I suppose we'll have to take you into our confidence and trust you'll never tell anyone. I'm the Space Angel.
Gee.
Now, as long as you're here, we have no choice but to take you along. Taurus, see if you can rig up a spacesuit for our new crew member, Johnny Kendall. We're entering Sector 5. Won't be long now.
Scott, the alarm. We're registering Sonite.
There it is.
The Sonite planet.
The Sonite planet. Will they find Professor Kendall? Be sure to see the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of Incident of the Loud Planet. You remember last time, Johnny had stowed away on the space dart. Scott had gone too far to turn back, so agreed to take Johnny along on their search for the Sonite planet and Johnny's dad, Professor Kendall.
It certainly looks evil enough, Skipper.
It looks completely dead. How could anyone survive on such a place?
If anybody could, it would be your father, Johnny. He's a very capable man.
Aye, laddie. I read one of his books on how to survive in hostile environments.
Gravity reading .015. Moving up fast, Scott.
Right, Chris. We'll drop into orbit now and survey this planetoid. Taurus, get on the analyzer and check for atmosphere content.
Aye, Skipper.
Crystal, check the radiation and ground conditions, please.
Right, Scott. Aren't we going to land, sir?
Not until we take a look around, Johnny. We have to know what we're getting into.
Capital of the Guard, notify the Queen. Unidentified spacecraft approaching. Your Highness, we have an alert. Unidentified spacecraft coming in on low approach.
Well, General, shall we go see who our unexpected visitor is?
Of course, Your Highness. Who knows but we may fall heir to another youthful prize.
Safe enough. Let's drop down and drag the area. Any atmosphere readings, Taurus?
Atmosphere negligible, Skipper.
Geiger reading in the green. Safe gravity. .094 Gs.
Very good.
They're coming closer now, Your Highness.
Does the stranger have any markings, General?
Your Highness, it looks like the Space Angel ship.
The Space Angel. I might have known.
Your Highness, the tower. They'll spot the sonite transmission tower.
Of course they will, you fool. We'll just prepare a little surprise reception for the Space Angel.
Why, of course, Your Highness.
Sure hope my dad's down there.
Aye, lad.
Hey, look. Was that a tower?
Out here in the middle of nowhere?
Hey, Taurus, check astern.
Aye, Skipper. Jumping Jupiter, it's a tower, all right. And there's smoke coming up near it.
Then it must be coming from an underground installation. Oh, boy! Dad must be there. He's alive. He must be alive.
Chances are pretty good, Johnny. Stand by, crew. We're coming about for a landing.
Landing legs extended.
Steady, power. Steady.
Power steady. Ready for touchdown.
That Space Angel is such a fool. Is everything in readiness for his surprise, General?
Everything, Your Highness. The Space Angel will get the surprise reception he deserves.
What kind of a surprise has the Queen for the Space Angel? Will Scott fall into their trap? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of Incident of the Loud Planet. Remember last time, Scott, Crystal, Taurus, and Johnny saw a sonite tower on the mysterious planet. Unbeknown to Scott, Queen Zora and her henchman, the General, have spotted the Space Angel.
Open outer panel.
Outer panel opening.
How's the suit fit, Johnny?
Very comfortable, sir. Mr. Torres is a genius.
Hey, okay here then, Crystal.
The brave fool is opening the hatchway already. It is the Space Angel, all right. And a small figure. They're headed straight for our sonite tower.
Checking communications, Crystal.
Loud and clear, Scott.
Look, Johnny, there's a door in the main building just to the right of the tower.
I can see it, sir.
Let us accommodate our friends, General. Open the sonite tower door.
Yes, Your Highness.
Look, sir, the door. Scott, be careful.
Looks like somebody is inviting us in.
Scott.
Ah, our friends are trying to decide whether or not they should enter our trap. Are you ready, General?
Most certainly, Your Highness.
Okay, Johnny, this is it. Stick close to me.
Kind of strange generator room, sir.
Yeah, Johnny. You can bet somebody's around opening and closing doors for us. It's the evil Queen Zora. I thought she was dead.
I am so sorry to disappoint you, Space Angel. But now you see it is you who will be destroyed.
Is my father, Professor Kendall, here?
Professor Kendall is helping us process sonite so that we can control the universe.
That's not true! That's not true! My father would never help you!
Not willingly, I will admit.
But we have had ways of persuading the good professor since he fell into our trap 3 years ago.
You see, Space Angel, we have prepared sonite capsules so we can put them in orbit around all inhabited planets. And you, Space Angel, and your little friend have brought us the means to deliver them. Your spaceship, the Starduster.
The Starduster?
I see. If the people of the universe refuse to pay you tribute, you'll activate the sonite.
Of course. I will rule the universe.
I want to see my father.
Of course, little man. General, send the professor to join his son. We have no further use for him.
In what fashion do you intend to eliminate us, Your Royal Highness?
You are standing directly over a sonite deposit. I need only throw this switch, and you will be shattered as the waves pass through you to the tower above.
Professor Kendall.
Johnny, my son,
Dad!
you found me.
A touching reunion indeed. Too bad it must end so soon.
You get that, Taurus? Aim for the ball at the top of the tower. But don't fire until I give the word.
Aye, Skipper.
You have been most helpful, Professor, but your usefulness has ended.
No, Taurus.
The tower has been hit. Don't throw that switch. You have activated the sonite. And the load control is destroyed. The activator is still going.
Quick! We must get out. The whole planet will explode.
That's right. We only have seconds.
Grab a spacesuit, Professor. Taurus, Crystal, stand by to blast off.
Aye, Skipper.
Quick! Look through the viewer.
Oh, by Jiminy Gully!
I wonder if Queen Zora escaped.
I don't know, Chris. But our mission is accomplished.
If I knew who you were, Space Angel, I could thank you properly.
That's right, Dad. But no one knows who the Space Angel is.
All well that ends well. Be sure and see the next exciting story with Scott McCloud, Space Angel.